Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and we are live here on YouTube. It's currently 12:04 Eastern Standard Time here in America. It's July the 16th. It's your boy BT with my main man, my dad, on my left. How you doing, Dad? You doing good?
No good. Anytime we talk boxing, I feel good.
Anytime we talk boxing, we're doing good. So that's what it is. We have a lot to discuss here on True School Sports tonight.
A lot of things.
Looking really forward to talking to you guys. As always, it's always a pleasure to talk to my subscribers and just the people who support TSS. You know, TSS is doing really good, so I'm really happy about just the direction of the channel. Just give me 1 second, cause I'm trying to find where the damn live is on my phone. It's not showing up. Bang. Okay, right there. Okay, so right now there's only one person here, so I'll give it some time to for you guys to get in here. But we have a lot to talk about on the just on this particular live. You know, obviously there's been a lot of stuff going on. You know, as far as there's been a big emotional outpour from the boxing community because unfortunately we got some really bad news. As one of boxing's true greats, one of boxing's best technical fighters of all time, one of the best defensive fighters of all time, Pernell, Sweet Pea Whitaker, the former pound king of boxing. He passed away last night after getting hit by a car or truck at the end. He died at the age of 55 last night. So our condolences here from True School Sports go out to Whitaker and his entire family.
Sure.
So we're talking about that, reviewing some of the stuff that happened this weekend,
Sure.
As well as the fight we covered this week that was on Telemundo, but some of it wasn't on Telemundo
Right.
because Telemundo doesn't want to show people who aren't
Right.
Hispanic on Telemundo.
Crazy. I didn't believe that, but you were right. Well, anyways.
Yeah. So we'll be getting into all that, but you can hold this for a second.
Sure.
Before we move any further, hold on. Before we move any further along, let me chat. Before we move any further along, let me just encourage you guys to please make sure you smash that like button, and so you can let people know that you're rocking with True School Sports, and so this video can get access to more people out there in the YouTube boxing community. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and then also let me know what city, what state, what continent, where are you watching from. Leave that in the comments as well, and leave your comments throughout the course of the video as well, and we'll be sure to definitely get to you as we get along. But you know, one thing we're gonna do before we start the show is, as you guys can see, I'm wearing I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm wearing a Terrence Crawford shirt right now from my sponsors, Fighting Mad. So big shout to the pound for pound kings of boxing apparel, Fighting Mad, and for all your for all the stylish boxing apparel you might want, whether you're at the gym, whether you're at home, or going to the fights, you want to go to Fighting Mad. Just to give you guys a little sneak preview of what you can get on Fighting Mad. I got a couple shirts here. I got this Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier Thriller in Manila shirt. I don't know if you guys can kind of see that, but there's that right there. That's one of my favorites. So you got that, and then also you got the first one I ever bought that you guys may have seen me wearing in my videos, the Tyson Fury shirt. It's a bit wrinkled right now, so excuse the wrinkles, but yeah, I got Tyson Fury there. So if you want to cop some dope boxing merch like that, go to Fighting Mad. The promo code on the website is right here. So you go cop yourself some gear. All of the content will go. All sales will be 20% off when you use my promo code true-20.july. It's right there in the comments. So there you have it. So without any more shameless plugs and delays, let's get into what we have on tap for today's show. Okay, I just had it right here. I have my whole layout right here, and now fuck. Anyway.
Fudge.
Talk.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, that we'll talk. I'm just gonna start out with the sad news of Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker. He to me was one of the best defensive fighters in boxing in his era. Many compare him to, if not better, or the same as Floyd Mayweather. And speaking about Floyd Mayweather, I always talk about him. I always question his legacy and everything, but I gotta give him big respects from my heart, from boxing, because 2 days before Sweet Pea passed away, he actually spent, and he put a photo out there of him spending time with Sweet Pea. So rest in peace, Sweet Pea. And you were there with one of the best. The TBE of boxing was with you, and may you rest in peace.
May you rest in peace. Okay, now when we talk about Pernell Whitaker, he one of the best lightweights of all time. There's an argument to be made that in terms of pure skills and technical boxing ability, that he might be the best lightweight of all time. There's a lot of people that actually are out there that do believe these kind of things about Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. But his final record after now he's all the way done as far as his life. But during his boxing career, he compiled the record of 40 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. 17 of those wins came by way of knockout. So he wasn't known as a big puncher. But when we look at his resume, let me get up for a second and let me just.
He was a 4 division, right?
4 division champ. Hold on.
Right. He'll tell you about that. But one thing that we can get out of this that we all as just citizens of the United States of America and all over the world about safety, crossing the street at night in the dark. Please don't do it. It's sad to say that's what happened in this case with this champion. He was walking late at night and a truck didn't see him and hit him with supposedly wearing dark clothes. Anyways, that's the positive of it, and the sadness of it is that he's not with us anymore. But like I say, safety is the most important thing. Take that into mind, like anything else.
Absolutely. So when we go through Pernell Whitaker's resume, just to kind of run through it a little bit, there's some notable names that he fought and some notable names he defeated as well. A couple of names that stand out to me are he had his 2 probably best wins, in my humble opinion, his best actual wins that he got here, because I know a lot of people say he got robbed against De La Hoya, which I agree. I thought he outboxed De La Hoya, but aside from that, I would say his actual best wins that he actually recorded on his resume were his 2 wins against James Buddy McGirt. James Buddy McGirt, very good fighter, boxing Hall of Famer. Someone that it was more than a formidable opponent in his day. Pernell scored 2 wins over him, once in '93, and I think the next one being in '95. So yeah. My main man, Sean Ramseur, he said, didn't Pernell fight Aaron Pryor? No, he never fought Aaron Hog Time Pryor. That was a bit before his time, but he did fight the great Azuma Nelson, who at that point, if you don't know much about Azuma Nelson back in 1990 when Pernell fought him, he'd only suffered 1 defeat, and that was to the great Salvador Sanchez. So
wow.
He was only the second man to defeat Azuma Nelson, and Azuma Nelson was a great fighter in his own right. But when people ask me, BT, what was your favorite Pernell Whitaker fight? And it would have to be his 1990 fight when he fought Freddie Pendleton.
Wow.
Freddie Pendleton was from Florida. Freddie Pendleton, actually, I met him once at the gym right up the street at Flacco's.
Wow.
And Freddie Pendleton had an interesting career because he actually holds a record that most people don't know about.
Right.
Freddie Pendleton holds the record for the most losses. A guy who won the world title with the most losses.
Wow.
Because he started his career as a journeyman, and then he wound up becoming a better fighter later on in his career.
Right.
But he became a world champion with 20 losses, something like that. And Pernell Whitaker, that was supposed to be an easy fight for him, and Freddie Pendleton gave him a lot of good rounds. I mean, Pernell did wind up getting the unanimous decision victory over Freddie Pendleton, but Pendleton was able to take rounds out of him. Pendleton was able to really push Pernell, and so that's a fight that I like. Not just for the Pernell side of things, but I like the Freddie Pendleton story as well. Obviously, he had 2 very controversial decisions against 2 Mexican fighters. He got a majority draw against Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then he got a loss to Oscar De La Hoya in 2 fights people thought he won. I mean, in fact, it got so bad that Sports Illustrated even had on the cover, robbed. Pernell Whitaker.
So the politics was back there too with the judges is always in question. So
even back then. And it's funny because I know he fights at a lighter weight class.
Right.
He fought at a lighter weight class, Pernell Whitaker. But I mean, if you look at the guys his biggest fights, and then the guys he should have beat but didn't get decisions over, it's almost kind of like in a way kind of now if Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade were to fight Canelo and box him and get a gift, it's kind of the same thing. Exactly. The slick Black American boxer outboxing the Mexican cash cow and still getting a draw or a loss. So it happened to him. If it happened to him, it could happen to Boo Boo. So
history repeats itself sometimes.
It could. It really could. Really could. But anything else to say about Pernell?
Yeah, props to Roy Jones Jr. Also gave a lot of props to him on TMZ Sports. He was talking about how he really respected him and how he was actually he passed the torch on to Roy Jones Jr. when he coming up from the Olympics and made it to the professional status that he was in. And he gave a lot of respect to that. And he says a lot of things that people don't appreciate about some of these boxers. But he said that. From Roy Jones Jr. that was around, he said that Pernell Whitaker was a dog in the ring. So he only wanted the biggest fights, the bigger the fight of us, the bigger he wanted to get in the ring with them. And I was just telling my son before we came on air about the promoter that was his at the time. I forgot who it was.
Kathy Duva.
Yeah, her husband. She was saying that she also gave her condolences to Pernell Whitaker, and she was saying that she came in one conversation where she overheard her late husband speaking to Pernell Whitaker to give him a breather or easy fight so he can take a break from all these tough fights that he's been having. And Whitaker came out with a response and said, no, if I can't get the best, I don't want to go in the ring. More or less, that's what the whole conversation. So respect to the Sweet Pea, rest in peace. He only wanted the best, and he only wanted to fight the top guys in boxing.
A couple other wins that I think are to be noted with Pernell Whitaker. In 1991, he fought Jorge Paez and outboxed him.
Oh, wow. You beat him?
Yeah, boxed him right there.
Wow, that's good. He's a good fighter.
Yeah, he outboxed Jorge Paez.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's funny is like now that he's like,
yeah,
I'm looking more into his career. Well, before I never knew this. He fought. He had a fight in Spain.
Wow.
No, 1990 he fought Benji Marquez in Spain.
Marquez,
I never knew about that. So,
wow.
Shout out to him. But I'll tell you guys a little story about Pernell Whitaker, just a personal story. I never met Pernell myself, but I'll say this: when I'm gonna say, because I first started boxing about 5 years ago. 5 years ago I started boxing. So when I started boxing, there were a lot of fighters that I was very curious. So when I started training, I wanted to study all the fighters. I wanted to know, I wanted to take a little bit from certain fighters, right? So I remember at the time I had an Xbox. So I bought the game Fight Night Round 4. And in Fight Night Round 4, my favorite character to use, ironically, was Pernell Whitaker, because
wow.
he had the highest counter punch rating in the game, so he was easy to make people miss in the counter. So, and that's how I like to fight in Fight Night. So with Pernell, as I learned more about him, he was probably like one of the first fighters I actually ever studied in the ring. Like when I was training, when I was 19 years old, training at Canino's boxing gym here in Dania Beach. I studied a lot of Pernell Whitaker. I studied because I'm a southpaw too, so I studied how he moved his head, how he slipped punches, how he threw punches at certain angles, And Pernell Whitaker is probably like one of the first boxers where I could say, damn, like I studied that guy, like him,
wow.
James Toney, even Keith Thurman a little bit too.
Yeah.
Romo Gonzalez, obviously.
Right.
So I liked Pernell a lot for that. As far as his legacy goes, Pernell Whitaker, it's it's almost a damn near widely accepted fact, amongst the boxing community, that the 1984 U.S. American Olympic team is the best Olympic team of all time.
Wow.
On that Olympic team, Pernell Whitaker was probably the best fighter from that Olympic team. But you had guys like Evander Holyfield, you had guys like Frank Tate,
he came out and said that too,
all them guys.
Yeah, so.
But on the best, aside from probably the 2012 Ukraine Olympic team, which has like Lomachenko and Usyk and all these guys, that's the best. The 84 American Olympic team is probably the best one out, and 88 is also in the running as well because they had Roy Jones, Riddick Bowe, Michael Carbajal. They definitely got a case, but his legacy is that of one of the most skilled defensive fighters of all time. Scaled weight classes, did everything he needed to do to be pound. Didn't get the breaks towards the end of his career that you would have wanted. Against like De La Hoya and Chavez, but it's widely recognized that he won those fights.
And sometimes you can't always have the whole icing on the cake, so to speak, but you kind of knew that Sweet Pea was going to be up there with the great ones. And to this day, when you see the way the box world come out, all the big names come out and respect him, you already know he was special. Didn't he also get inducted to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
So that was very special for that. So so you gotta give him props for that. His name will always be a legend.
His amateur record was 201 wins with 14 losses.
Wow.
So you knew before he even turned pro that he had blue chip written all over him, and you just had to make a couple of adjustments, as all fighters do when they turn professional. But Pernell Whitaker, what's funny about Pernell too is it kind of sucks that he's dead now, because I almost actually met Pernell in 2016. Pernell Whitaker, he came to the WBC convention in Hollywood, Florida, the day after it ended. But man. it was very random. I think he came to me with a fighter that was staying at the Diplomat Hotel in Hollywood, because that's where it was at. And we almost crossed paths, but not quite.
But he just a few days ago, just the same picture that the same 2 days ago that Mayweather was hanging out with him. He also hung out with one of the fighters that you interviewed, recently, Michael Spinks. Or,
Leon?
Yeah, at the they had a gathering there too. I was reading about that. One of the Spinks was there. I don't know which one it was, but that being said, you at least have some kind of link. You know what I mean?
Well, if you want to play like a 5 degree separation,
Yeah.
There's plenty of links I had to Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah.
Well, in 2015 or early 2016, I did an interview with Calvin Brock, the former heavyweight contender, who was trained by Pernell Whitaker.
Wow.
Because Pernell Whitaker was a trainer. And listen, we're gonna try to keep mostly positive today.
Yeah, of course.
Because this guy's a legend and he deserves the utmost respect. But
exactly.
when we talk about fighters who were great fighters that didn't make the transition and becoming great trainers, he's probably the best example of that because. Wow. He never was really able to find his niche or find his comfort zone with a fighter when he became a trainer. Because I guess he figured it's one of those things where he's so good as a fighter.
Well, I mean,
where he couldn't necessarily tell the fighters he was training everything he wanted them to do.
It's just almost like saying when you see a great. Prime example, Michael Jordan being the owner of a basketball team, a great superstar like him, but he just doesn't know how to relate to being an owner and how to deal with the general manager. It wasn't his thing, you know what I mean? But the article that I was reading, it also brought up that he became a great mentor to all the young boxers in Virginia and all over the boxing world in the United States and in the world. So he might have been a coach like he wanted to be, or a big trainer, because he just didn't have the niche there, but he was a mentor to a lot of people, which also plays a big part in a boxer in a young kid's life. He was a positive, and that's more important to me than just training just professional boxers, to be honest with you. If you can be a mentor to a lot of people, that's big in itself.
Absolutely. So, big shout out to Pernell. A couple other notable wins, because I want to make sure that we really take the time to give respects to his career. A couple of other notable wins he had in his career. Probably one of the first big wins he had in his career was when he beat Roger Mayweather. He fought Floyd's uncle. He fought Floyd's uncle. So, obviously, Roger Mayweather was a fighter. When he was a fighter, he wasn't a guy that was a world championship fighter, but he was a high level contender, quality contender. Pernell beat him early in his career, and it was one of the first wins where, like, okay, he beat Roger Mayweather, and it kind of just it sent him up into that that level where he could challenge for world titles and push on and become the great fighter that he ultimately became. Later on in his career, another win he had was against Rafael Pineda. He fought him in 1992, outboxed him to a unanimous decision at the Mirage Hotel. Pineda was another guy who at lightweight. I don't remember if he was world champion, but I know he was a good contender. He only had one loss to that point. Pernell beat him while he was on a 5-fight win streak. So, he beat good fighters, and he was willing to fight the best. He was pound for pound king of boxing. He was recognized as that by many, many fighters. He influenced the whole generation of fighters, because I'm sure if you go to a lot of I've interviewed a lot of fighters. And I said, well, who are some guys that influence your style? And I can't say how many fighters over the last 3-4 years on True School Sports, when I talked to them about who's influenced your style. Pernell Whitaker. I studied Pernell Whitaker. I studied the greats. I studied Pernell Whitaker. So
his name came out. Still,
So, listen, personally for me, I'm a southpaw. So I've got a soft spot for Pernell Whitaker, being that he was not only just a great southpaw, but he was a great American southpaw. He was one of the great American fighters of the modern era, and that's got to be his legacy for me, being the fact that he was one of the great American southpaws, one of the best modern American fighters, one of the best defensive fighters of all time, and probably someone that, when it's all said and done, when you add up his amateur career, his pro career, what he did in his pro career, who he beat in his pro career, who he fought in his pro career, there's no way that he cannot be a top, 50 boxer of all time. Scale weight classes, was the pound for pound king of boxing. So this is a big loss for boxing today. Big loss. But may God be with his family.
Exactly.
And all that good stuff, man. So,
like I said, just to give homage and respect to this guy, and even Mayweather, the TV came out and really put that his picture out there. It shows a lot, even about Mayweather, and give respect, so to speak, to the style that Whitaker fought, or the style that Mayweather got was from somewhat
Pernell. He took a little bit from Pernell.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a well-known fact that when Floyd was coming up as a young amateur about to turn pro, he sparred Pernell Whitaker. Did a lot of sparring with Pernell Whitaker.
Right.
At age 17, he was sparring Pernell Whitaker.
Right.
So Pernell Whitaker, it's like you gotta in boxing, you gotta respect the guys that paved the way for guys like Floyd. And I mean, I know Floyd is not my favorite fighter. Let's not get it confused.
Right.
But I recognize his greatness.
That's right.
And I appreciate his greatness as a fighter. And because I appreciate his greatness as a fighter, I extra appreciate Pernell Whitaker as a fighter because he laid the groundwork. You know, he was kind of. I mean, there's been plenty of guys who are defensive fighters, but I feel like, and we're talking about modern fighters, guys since the 80s, the 90s, going into the 2000s to now. I feel like Pernell Whitaker was one of the first modern fighters that made being a defensive fighter cool.
Exactly.
That actually made it cool because you know anybody who's been to a boxing gym, you know, even if you box yourself, you know that for the most part when you go in the gym, everybody wants to be like Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward. They want to stand in the center of the ring.
It's so funny to say that.
And be Rock of Soccer robots, right? But with Pernell, I feel like the cool thing about his career is like he made being a defensive boxer cool because he was so slick and he was so, you know, he was so smooth with it. You know, how could you not want to be like Pernell?
So, like I said, respects to him. Rest in peace, and we send our condolences to his family, and definitely TV gave respect to him, so I gotta give props to that. We're still the boxing family, no matter what our opinions are of boxers, and we all need to give respect to what's deserved.
Absolutely. So hopefully, you know, as many of you guys know, and a video just dropped on my channel about from the new Evander Holyfield Riddick Bowe series. Hopefully, I can get down into Heavyweight Factory soon and just ask Evander Holyfield about Pernell Whitaker because they were on the same Olympic team in '84.
That is so true.
So hopefully we'll have some of that for you guys. But yeah, may God be with Pernell Whitaker. I want you guys in the comments down below. Let me know like where do you rank Pernell Whitaker as far as the best welterweights of all time, the best lightweights of all time, things of that nature. Also, let me know your favorite Pernell Whitaker fight, and let me know why in the comments as well. And yeah. Like I said earlier, my favorite Pernell Whitaker fight is the Freddie Pendleton fight. I like that fight a lot. And obviously his fight with De La Hoya because he's making De La Hoya look silly. He made him look silly.
Yeah, that fight. Yeah, I think for me it would have been Chavez because Chavez already had a record, an incredible record of 87
and all going into that fight.
And he was already a legend, so to speak. And to this day, he's still speaking about it. So to me, Whitaker getting that chance to fight somebody like him. For me, it kind of puts him up in the same, what's the word, spectacle, or more or less the ground where he's going to be one. It motivates you and motivated him to get those big fights to fight somebody such a legend like him and learn from that.
Okay. Roy Jones made an interesting point in that interview you were watching. He was saying that Pernell Whitaker is what Terrence Crawford is right now, but like times 10.
Oh yeah.
And you know it's funny I'm wearing a Terrence Crawford shirt just for that reason because Terrence Crawford is a guy who I feel like you know he's like it's gonna sound funny when I say this, but like Terrence Crawford is Pernell Whitaker with like 50% less of the special effects.
Yeah.
Like if Pernell Whitaker is the Honey Nut Cheerios, and I mean this very respectfully. If Pernell Whitaker is Honey Nut Cheerios, Terrence Crawford is the Publix brand of Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah. So the quality, quality.
And I mean that in the most respectful way.
Yeah,
to Terrence.
no hate,
You know. But you know we see how highly regarded Terrence is. The fact that Terrence can switch styles, he's a good counterpunch. But Pernell Whitaker was a smaller, slicker, more defensively sound version of Terrence Crawford. So if for those of you who may not know Pernell Whitaker like that, that's what he was when he fought.
And for Roy Jones Jr. to come out and say that, it says a lot. It speaks a lot of volumes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you guys give your thoughts about Pernell Whitaker. We'll definitely get your comments, but we're gonna actually hold on.
I don't know if Matt shirts out hoodies has a Pernell Whitaker shirt, but if you guys are big fans, you can order ask for a custom made shirt of him if you're a big fan of his.
All right, so we're actually gonna go through some tweets here on Twitter. Give me 1 second. Okay. We're gonna go on Twitter and see what some of Pernell's boxing colleagues and counterparts are saying. So we're gonna go on Twitter.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, Holyfield when I was saying something, the whole boxing world, but the majority, the big guns of boxing will actually give him a lot of homage to him, and he truly deserved it. So
Evander Holyfield says the following: I am saddened to learn of my good friend Pernell Whitaker's untimely passing last night. We shared so many great memories. He was small in stature, but yet so big in heart and skills inside the ring. There will never be another like him. He will be truly missed. Max Kellerman. On my New York Public Access TV show, Max on Boxing, from 1989 to 1998, I talked to Pernell Whitaker more than any other fighter. It was basically the Pernell Whitaker show. He was the pound-for-pound best for half a decade and one of the 3 greatest pure boxers who ever lived, R.I.P. Sweet Pea. He then went on by saying that his ranking of Pernell Whitaker is that he's top 10 pound-for-pound all time, the greatest lightweight of all time, and a top 3 pure boxer of all time, along with Willie Pep and Floyd Mayweather. Who else we got? We got Lennox Lewis, rest in love, King, Pernell Whitaker. Steve Kim, my thoughts on Pernell Whitaker. So Steve Kim had an article over there. R.A. the Rugged Man, the rapper. R.A. the Rugged Man. If you're a real boxing fan, you're a fan of Pernell Whitaker. It's impossible to be a true fan of the sweet science and not be a fan of this great Sweet Pea Whitaker, a defensive master wizard, best boxer of his era, R.I.P. The world still knows he beat Chavez, Ramirez, and De La Hoya. Jamel Herring, gone too soon. May you rest in peace, Sweet Pea. Who else we got? Well, who else comments? Who chimed in on this?
There's a lot of people that probably.
A lot of people are chiming in on this. I mean, I'm surprised that so many people are talking about Pernell Whitaker because I always felt like he don't get the credit he deserved. But Regis Prograis, just getting up to some horrible news. Pernell Whitaker was killed last night after being hit by a car in Virginia Beach. He was only 55 years old. Who else we got?
Great.
I mean, so this has really affected a lot of people here. Here we go. Here it continues. Oscar De La Hoya himself. It was an honor to share the ring with him in terms of his defense and in-ring generalship. Pernell Whitaker was the best fighter that I ever fought. On behalf of everyone at Golden Boy, we send our prayers and condolences to his family and friends. Paulie Malignaggi, rest in peace to Pernell Whitaker, one of the best to ever lace them up. Who else? Oscar De La Hoya, again. I am deeply saddened by the loss of this great champion who gave a tremendous amount of joy to those who watched him. What else we got? Who else we got?
I mean, this he's getting a lot of respect from a lot of probably people. What's his name? The ring announcer.
Michael Buffer?
Yeah, he also gave a lot of respect to him.
Max Kellerman again.
Yeah.
The best lightweight I ever saw passed away today. Yes, that includes Roberto Duran, Floyd Mayweather, Ike Williams, and anyone else you had mentioned. Rest in peace to Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. So yeah, man. I mean, we can go on and on. There's definitely lots of reaction, but yeah, I just want to give Pernell his proper respect.
Yep.
Dave Caldwell from England, Tony Bellew's trainer.
Right.
Just read about the passing of one of the most underappreciated, underrated boxers in history. Pernell Whitaker was an absolute boxing genius, absolutely gutted. Had his VHS videos on him when I was a young fighter, and watch him on YouTube to this very day. Spencer Ferron, gutted about the loss of Pernell Whitaker. What a legend. Michael Montero, shout out to Montero on boxing. So sad to hear about the passing of Sweet Pea, one of the all-time greats. He will live forever in the hearts of millions of admirers around the world. I mean, so much coming out from this today. I'll wait a couple more. Steve Kim. While people always bring up the disputed draws versus Cesar Chavez in '93, the loss that Pernell Whitaker to Jose Luis Ramirez in their first fight was one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my history, all my years covering boxing. Pernell Whitaker was someone who represented part of my childhood, and this Steve Kim represented part of my childhood and the years I truly grew up becoming the boxing fan I am today. The '84 Olympic team was my all-time favorite, given that the Summer Games were in Los Angeles. Joe Calzaghe, really sad to hear the news of Pernell Whitaker. Was one of my favorite fighters growing up. Incredible boxing skills and defense, gone way too soon. So, let's see. I mean, George Kambosos Jr. So yeah, I keep going, but you guys get the gist of it. His loss is being really felt throughout the whole boxing world, and he deserves nothing but respect. So for my pops, my dad, here on True School Sports, for myself, someone who I appreciate the history of boxing. I take my time to study the history of boxing. I love the history of boxing, and because I love the history of boxing, I really appreciate Pernell Whitaker. And I'll never forget, being 19 years old, 18 years old when I first started boxing, going to Canino's boxing gym, coming home after a long day of training, and watching this man's highlights, and then going to the gym the next day and trying to actually emulate them in the ring during shadow boxing or sparring.
Right.
So you got nothing but positive things to say about Pernell Whitaker, and yeah, just rest in peace to him to Pernell Whitaker from the whole True School Sports family. So So there you have it. So you guys can continue to chime in on Pernell Whitaker. We'll definitely be getting to your comments as we move on. But we're going to go ahead and look at some other boxing news. Well, actually, let's get to before we move on. Let's get Pernell Whitaker's proper respect. I want to get to some of your guys' comments. Let me scroll all the way back up. And let me see what you guys are saying.
I mean, just a few in there that just being, just talking junk. But right now is not the time. We're trying to give respect to one of the all-time lightweights that actually fought. And some of you guys are continually joking about.
Yeah, we're not joking.
If we're experts of couch potatoes or not, I just want to ask you a question.
You can't whoop me anyway, so it is.
I just want to ask you a question. If it was one of your family members, would you be doing the same thing?
No, it wouldn't.
Okay, so give a little respect where respect is due. If you don't appreciate that, it's okay, but at least appreciate Pernell Whitaker and what he did for the sport of boxing and how he's being respected by other people. Have a little respect. There's a problem with this world. They think everything's a joke and they don't know what to respect. When the time is to laugh and when it's the time to be serious.
Spoken like a true OG. Let me make sure my battery's good. I'm not putting my charger in soon. But someone asked me. It's right. Hold on. I'll get it. Someone asked me about the Jose Luis Ramirez fight. I'll be honest with you. I've never. I've watched the first like 4 or 5 rounds of that fight. I never finished that. I watched it a couple years ago. I started watching it, but I never had a chance to actually finish it because I forgot why. But I just never finished it. From the rounds I watched, I thought he was outboxing Ramirez thoroughly, but I never finished watching it, so I can't give you my best opinion on the fight.
Yeah.
But most people I ever talked to about that fight, like if I brought it up, they say, well, yeah, Ramirez got a gift, Pernell was robbed. So, he was a fighter that got the short end of the stick a lot, and it was always against Mexican fighters. Let me go back up. So, Yep, Sean Ramsey, yeah, Boo Boo Andrade is from Providence, Rhode Island. Shout out to Providence. Let's see, Tyson Straight Jacket video, one of the best. Yeah, Pernell Whitaker was 19-3 in world title fights. He was an absolutely exceptional boxer. Pernell Whitaker had one of the best defenses. Very underrated by this new generation. Yeah, that's because people don't take the time to appreciate the greats, and that's why you'll see fighters now, for the most part. I mean, there's other factors, but that's why you'll see fighters now. Their skills aren't as sharp because they don't know the history of boxing. They don't study the old fighters.
And just like anything else, things change as times change. And I think we were talking about this before when boxers started losing those old school trainers in boxing, and how they actually kept the old school teachings and everything. And it's the same thing with the point that you just made out about the fighters that you were just saying. That everything changes, but I mean, you gotta have trainers, you gotta have the old school people involved. But if everything changes with time, that was the point you just made out. I was just trying to go back.
Yeah. Someone said, Hassan Barbie says, R.I.P. Pernell Whitaker, legends never die. Tevin Farmer is a poor man's Sweet Pea. Listen, he's like, that's putting it lightly. He tries to be Sweet Pea, but he's nothing close to it. But Terrence Crawford is our Pernell Whitaker without the flash. I agree. I couldn't have said it any better. You said it better than I did.
Comment. Yeah.
Sweet Pea was a better boxer than Floyd Mayweather. We were just talking about this. Me and my dad were just talking about this before we got on. I told my dad, I said, I don't think he was a better fighter than Floyd. I think Floyd was a better fighter defensively than Pernell Whitaker. I'm not mad at anybody who thinks that's be the case.
I mean, one thing that I learned was, or that I heard another fighter say, that he never compares other fighters because other fighters fought in different eras. And so he says he never going to compare another fighter to another fighter regardless of how you want to look at it because they were different eras in our time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's going to help the discussion, but it's a legitimate point. You're always going to have that Sweet Pea Mayweather thing. But the best thing y'all can keep in your mind is that the TBE was there next to Sweet Pea before he was called to heaven. And that's a lot of respect to Mayweather.
Team Harold Calderon in here. He's fighting this month. Yeah, Mike. I don't know, Mike. I see in your picture you got a Miami Dolphins cap on, so I'm gonna assume you're either from South Florida or you live in South Florida. I'll be there. I'll be there for that July 26th fight at Mickasuki Resort and Gaming. I will be there at the Harold Calderon fight. So if you see me there, don't be afraid to say what's up. But big shout out to Harold Calderon. Are you doing a reaction for Thurman versus Pacquiao live or nah? I'm watching. I can't give you a definitive answer right now at this moment, but if I am, you'll hear about it on one of my posts. So just stay tuned for my posts.
Hey, just off the record, we were at the fights the other night. We actually seen King Kong,
Luis Ortiz,
and my son tried to get him to answer some questions, but he didn't want to go with that.
Oh yeah. So what I was saying is, this past Friday, we had the honor and the privilege to cover the Telemundo card. It was Derek Cuevas versus Jesus Beltran. That was the main event, but also you had some local fighters on there like Bad Blake Davis, Jesse Cruz,
Derevchenko.
Who?
Ivan
Ditchko was on that card. You know, good heavyweight prospect coming up. You had
that was a whole bunch.
I'm missing Musa Tersingliev was on that card.
That was, I mean,
I'm missing some other guys too, but there was a lot of local South Florida people. And so usually when Heavyweight Factory puts on a card and there's local fights, Luis Ortiz is always at them because there's always some Cuban there, and Herman Caicedo, who's his trainer, always has a fighter there or 2 or 3 on the card. So with that being said, we saw King Kong there. He walked right by the media area. I asked him, I said, hey, can we do an interview? And the person that I was translating for him said no, he doesn't want to do an interview because his management team told him not to. So I said, okay, no problem. Yeah. But like my dad says, he looked trimmed, he looked good.
He was lean.
He was lean. Ortiz was lean. I told my dad, ain't gonna mean a damn thing. He's getting sparked for 4 rounds. But you know, it's good to see that he looks good.
Ortiz look good. So, Bronze Bomber, you gonna get some Cuban missiles coming at you.
Yeah. Rob Dick Long says, I saw the Telemundo card. There's another one this Friday. Yeah, we were there. It was right here in our backyard.
Yep.
And you know what? It's the perfect segue because that's actually what we're going to talk about next. So rest in peace to Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah.
Massive respect goes out to him. Yeah. God bless him. But that's actually what we're going to talk about next.
Yeah.
We're going to segue to that. We have videos coming out later on in the week about reviewing the card, but let's just review it a little bit, Dad. So we had a chance to go to the Telemundo card.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of good prospects, local guys on that card. Yeah. First of all, I before we run through the card, what was a fight that stood out to you and why? On that card we went to.
I liked there was quite a few. Big Blake Davis, I like a lot. I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah, Bad Blake Davis, cruiserweight prospect.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Cruiserweight prospect. Shout out to Bad Blake Davis.
That was a great fight. Another fight that I liked. Wait, I'll tell you the one that I'll put this. The one that I was really disappointed on. The main event, my boy from Puerto Rico, they say this and that. I don't know if he got whatever belt that what he won. He won what kind of belt?
I don't know. He won.
There was a couple kind of belt he won, whatever. But for being the main event, it was the most. I mean, everybody from the stands. I went up to the stands. I left the media thing, and I went up to the stands and took some, and actually took some videos of some of the fans talking and yelling, and they were very adamant and upset that that fight was made the main event. As a matter of fact, another Puerto Rican guy told me I would rather see 2 chickens in the ring than seeing them in the ring. That's how boring it was. And even a fan came out and was saying like, wow, what is this? So I was very disappointed about that fight. I like, I said, Bad Blake Davis. I enjoyed that one.
That was a war.
Yeah, that was.
He fought what's his name? What was it? Philip Jean Saidi.
Yeah.
You know, he just turned pro. Has gotten the the short end of the stick a couple times in his career, but you know that was a war.
The one I liked also was even though he won the decision, I thought it was fairly close. The guy from Kyrgyzstan, from Gigi's place.
Musa Tersingliev.
Yeah, he
9-0.
Yeah, that was a good fight, but that was like a real close fight. That I think he actually edged that fight. I think. He got headbutted or something happened with the other guy. And to point was that, but I mean, either way, that was an enjoyable fight. There's another one I came.
Luis Melendez, the other Puerto Rican, the first fight on the card when he got dropped by the 5-26 journeyman.
Yeah, that was a shock.
That was crazy, right?
It was a crazy. You know, boxing is crazy. Like my son says, you can't go by records. You can't go by who's in there.
So
I mean,
I'm gonna cut you out, but like, so there was this. There was a featherweight prospect, Puerto Rican named Luis Melendez. He's from Puerto Rico, but he's basically a South Florida guy, and so this was his 6th professional fight, and he was fighting a 5-26 journeyman. Now, it was a 4-rounder. He got dropped in the 2nd round with a left hook, bad too.
Yeah.
Got caught, bang bang, and I asked my dad after the fight. I said, Pops, what do you think that guy's record who just dropped Luis Melendez? What do you think his record? I asked him. He said, I think he's like probably 3-1.
Yeah,
2-0.
yeah, something good.
And I asked my friend, he said, I think he's 4-0. Because the guy was fighting really good.
Yeah.
He didn't look like a 5-26 guy.
Yeah.
And his record was actually 5-26, and they were shocked. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of times these journeymen get a lot of they get a lot of, people look at the records and say, oh, the guy sucks. And people think, oh, if you're a journeyman, you suck. And that's not the case. A lot of times, journeymen are very competent boxers, but they're there to do a job, not to lose, but they're being brought in to lose. And if the prospect can't beat the journeyman, then the prospect really isn't worth investing into.
And a lot of things what I see too, if you're a fighter or you're a boxer, and I'm not no expert, like what was it, we were couch experts. I'm just saying what I saw. In that fight with Melendez, he just kept doing the same move over and over, leaving himself open. I mean,
you call it too.
Yeah, I told, and sure enough, the way I said it, the guy got knocked out. I mean, he came back and whatever, won the fight, gave him the decision. But my point being is, if you're a boxer and you're fighting somebody, or any of you guys are in the fight, and you know your opponent's coming at you, and he's hitting you the same way, you're gonna make some changes. I mean, you're not gonna get hit in the head. You figure out how to do something. Sometimes you use the same moves over and over, and sooner or later the opponent's gonna catch you. And that's what happened here. But I was just shocked. I didn't expect that. If I was a betting man, I would have lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melendez is a good fighter. I actually covered his when he won the Golden Gloves.
Yeah.
I was there when he won the Golden Gloves.
So,
years ago.
but it was a great card. The whole thing was, I mean, besides that,
probably the best card we went to, me and you together.
And it was packed again too. It was pretty packed.
Solid crowd.
So, yeah.
Solid crowd. Blake Davis brought in most of the crowd.
Yeah.
So, and I want to talk about his fight because his fight was my favorite one on the card. Blake Davis fights Philip John Sadie, who's coming up 2 weight classes from 168 to cruiserweight on 1 week's notice.
Wow.
And has everything. Philip John Sadie had all the cards stacked against him.
Yeah.
Because Blake's bringing in all the money. Blake's
right.
like the house guy really, and he had his first fight when he turned pro. He fought a 4-rounder. He actually knocked the guy out or knocked him down, but then he hit him while he was down, so he got DQ'd in the 3rd round of his pro debut. So he's 0-1. Then they bring him in to fight Blake Davis, coming up 2 weight classes on 1 week's notice.
It's crazy.
And he gave Blake Davis a great fight. I mean, Blake dropped him in the 1st round with a right hand on the top of the temple.
Mm-hmm.
And but after that, Philip John Sadie was in his ass.
What?
He cut him open in the 3rd round.
So,
had Blake bleed. You guys will see it. I got an interview drop. He cut him open. He cut him open here in the 3rd round. It was a close fight. I think without the knockdown, the fight is a draw.
Yep.
But because of the knockdown, I think Blake wins it by a point. If it was a 6-rounder, I'm not too sure Blake would have won that fight.
I don't think so. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You just never know. But it was a great fighting card, I thought, except for the last main event.
Yeah, and then you had Ivan Ditchko, a heavyweight prospect.
He's coming up. He did good.
Was a really good amateur. Won 2 bronze medals. Improved his record to 9-0 with 9 knockouts. He fought. Nate Heaven, a heavyweight. A journeyman who hadn't fought in 4 years.
He told me that. But he's still pretty good for the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. And this guy Nate Heaven, he came out. He was throwing these wide clubbing hooks like this. And I liked it. Ditchko was able to show good defense. Being 6'9", he was able in this fight to show his athleticism.
Yeah.
Miss the punches, make the punches sail over him. Miss. And then in the 2nd round, he touched him with a right hand, right on the temple, flattened him.
It's over.
So, look, it's another can of an opponent for Ivan Ditchko at this stage of his career.
Hey.
But, he's doing, listen, you can say they're cans, but he's fought 9 cans, and he's not on. It's like Deontay Wilder, He's fought, for the most part, cans, but he's knocked most of those cans out. So he's showing a good level for himself, Ivan Ditchko.
Yeah.
I think, we're looking at a guy.
And I like him. I like him with the training he has. Derek Santos.
Yeah.
I love him with his training. I don't know why. I think even though they have the language barrier, and Santos told how he communicates with him and everything. And he actually good. Sometimes fighters change with different trainers, and they don't look as good. So so that was. I mean, I was happy for him to get another win on his belt under Derek Santos.
There you go. And then who else was on that card? We had
that little Cuban dude. I don't know his name.
Well, no. Them fights were just takeover fights.
Okay,
Them fights wasn't really nothing.
Yeah.
That was really as far as the notable fights. That was really
but that was a top notch.
It was a good card. It was a really good card. So big shout out to the Heavyweight Factory, Henry Rivalta, Chico Rivas matchmaking, and just all the fine folks down there at the gym that I love so much.
Just bringing up boxing back to Hollywood.
Keeping boxing South Florida very much alive, and hopefully it continues to go really, really well. Yep. So let's get some comments. Sure. Let's get. Hawker Mustang says, Pernell was better than Floyd even though he was smaller and shorter. Hey, I ain't mad at you at that. I just don't agree with you. Tyson Fury's next opponent is going to be Big Baby Steroid Miller.
He can't have to be steroids, yeah.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I was going to talk about this later, but since you brought it up,
people
he's the front runner right now. He's a front runner.
Well, listen, a lot of people, I've been reading a lot of articles on that, and a lot of people are really upset that he's just getting like he just screwed up with the drugs, and they're just giving him like a
They're rewarding him basically.
yeah. I mean,
that happens in boxing though. You know, Canelo got caught with stuff,
Yeah.
And he got a $300 million contract.
plus being the franchise, right?
And now he's a franchise champion. So
So yeah, so it's crazy. But who Fury's the front runner to win? I would really, honestly, Brandon, I would love to see him fight. I mean, I'm a big fan of Big Baby, and I still love him, but he messed up. I don't think it's fair for a guy like Trevor Bryan to be sitting in the back burner to just sit back when this guy screwed up. And I think he should get the first shot at Fury.
yeah.
I honestly do that. That's my.
But who said again? Who?
No, the Fury when Fury called him out. But I was saying I think he should be the front runner, not
Trevor Bryan.
yeah,
Trevor Bryan.
not Miller. Only because
Okay, well,
Miller,
I'm glad you brought it up
because
because that's what I was going to talk about. Fury. So yeah, for those of you who didn't see the recent interview with Michelle Joy Phelps, Fury was doing an interview with Michelle Phelps, and in the middle of the interview, I'm not making this up.
No.
He called out. He says, "Look, if we can't get the Miller license sorted out, and I can't get the fight with him, then I want." And then he said, "Trevor Bryan, I want you."
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I'll break some news here. Y'all know I'm close to Stacey McKinley, Trevor Bryan's trainer. I called Stacey after I saw the interview. I said, "Hey Stacey, did you see the Tyson Fury said today?" And he said, "No, what did he say?" I said, "He wants to fight Trevor Bryan." He's like, "He want to fight Trevor Bryan?" I'm like, "Yeah, he wants to fight Trevor Bryan." And he's like, "Well, why do you want to do that?" I said, "Because
those are only two Americans.
he needs an American opponent for his next fight."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, he thinks it's a tune-up." And I said, "Yeah, pretty much." And he,
You know that,
yeah, he got very animated on the phone about that. So
Yeah.
listen, I mean, there's only 18 of you guys watching right now.
Yeah.
If any of you know Matchroom Boxing or Eddie Hearn, if they need an American opponent, Trevor Bryan is ready. Okay,
Yeah, he's been ready.
I know a lot of people here on YouTube because I watch a lot of these British channels or other channels that don't know much about Trevor Bryan.
Yeah.
And look, listen, if I was in their shoes, I'd probably be saying the same shit they're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got no record. He ain't fought nobody.
Yeah,
His best win is B.J. Floyd, which really isn't factually true. His best win is actually Derek Rossi because Derek Rossi is actually the full-fledged heavyweight, tough journeyman, knockdown Stavern,
Okay.
been in good fights. So I would actually say it's Derek Rossi. With that being said, Trevor Bryan has been a guy at heavyweight, and I've done interviews about this on my channel. You can go look it up.
Yeah.
He's been a guy who's been around a heavyweight. He's been a guy that just last year, he told me in an interview, he signed contracts to fight Jarrell Miller. He signed a contract to fight Dominic Brazil,
Remember that.
and he signed a contract to fight. There was another heavyweight. It was Jarrell Miller, Dominic Brazil, and Dominic Brazil, and all three of them never signed their end of the contract, and they decided to go other routes with their careers.
Yeah.
So he's been trying to get these guys in the ring. He's been trying to get these guys to fight. But unfortunately for him, that has not been the case. And unfortunately for him, Don King does not have the pull he had 10, 15, 20 years ago. I mean, he has pull
But not
to
like
a
that.
point, but not how
Yeah.
it used to be. So is he someone that deserves a Tyson Fury fight? Not really. No, he doesn't. But if ESPN and Bob Arum and all parties involved are saying they want an American opponent and your options are Jarrell Miller and Trevor Bryan, of those two, he deserves it more than Jarrell Miller because Jarrell Miller cheated. He cheated about an AJ fight. Why should he be rewarded with a fight against Tyson Fury? Trevor Bryan, on the other hand, has been working very hard, very patiently. You know, he's been sparring with the likes of Luis Ortiz and Najee Lopez, who's a top amateur. Trevor Bryan also sparred millions of rounds with Shannon Briggs. Who else? What's funny is Trevor Bryan was trying to fight Jarrell Miller before Jarrell Miller was even a contender. Most people don't know that about Trevor Bryan. Trevor Bryan wanted to fight Jarrell Miller when they were both 15-0, 14-0 prospects.
Yeah,
There's videos about this on YouTube. You can go look it up. So this is a guy that, it's not like he's been just here saying, "Oh, well, I want to fight bums."
Yeah.
No, he wants to fight these guys. He wants to get in the ring with these guys. But boxing. Listen, you guys. I mean, I know boxing fans. You guys understand to a point how political boxing is. But if you're not involved in this on a day-to-day basis, like I am, or like somebody who's a manager, a promoter, or someone who talks to people in boxing every single day, you truly don't understand how political this shit is. I had a fighter yesterday. I was telling you about this yesterday. I had a fighter message me on Instagram yesterday. Talented fighter. Okay, I'm not gonna say his name, but a talented fighter. You know, a good 154, 160 prospect here in America. You know, from Ohio.
Right.
He messaged me and he was telling me about how he's got out of a horrible contract. And this guy's a good fighter. I mean, I've seen this guy light people up in the gym in sparring.
Wow.
And he could probably beat a lot of 154-pounders, you know?
Right.
He has dogged the shit out of a lot of them in sparring.
Right.
And what's funny is we were talking, and he was saying maybe he was saying that I should get into boxing management. Maybe I could be his boxing manager. And I haven't ruled it out, so I might actually be a boxing manager at some point. But he can't get fights because people are saying, well, he's low risk, high risk, low reward. I'm like, well, the thing is, he has a loss on his record. He's 5-1. So shouldn't the logic be, well, he's got a loss?
Yeah.
Because they always say the O, but they know. But these matchmakers know. These matchmakers know who fighters can and cannot be. So there's tons of fighters here in America, especially who are either in bad contracts, or
it's crazy.
Or they don't. It's either they're in bad contracts, or they just don't have the right promotional backing behind them, and you'll never hear about them unless you really do your research. And these guys are talented.
Yeah, it's like a prime example with Bronze Bomber. He could be a big name all over the world, even make more money if he just had the right team behind him. He doesn't. I'm sorry to say he doesn't. He might have millions, but he doesn't. He doesn't have the right promoter or the team behind him to do it. And when I was talking to my son, I said, I'm starting to see that in this boxing game, that some of these young fighters make big mistakes and sign with the wrong promoters, and it becomes a big court case.
Yeah, and they lose years of their careers.
Yeah, because of it. So,
Cause
any fighters out there, do your homework first before you just jump into what any promoter.
Listen, I would say to any fighter, look, I wasn't a professional fighter, wasn't even an amateur really, but I do love boxing, and I have taken my time over the years to learn little bits and pieces about the boxing industry through people who I've met, whether they be managers or promoters that I know.
Yeah.
And what I would advise any boxer is look, you want to get to a place in your career where the value of your name, you can dictate things. I give you an example. I was giving the fighter I was talking to last night. I was giving this example. I said, look at a guy like Chris Algieri. Okay, this guy came into boxing with nothing. He had dick when he came into boxing. He was a guy who came from kickboxing. He was a nobody to nobody. He was a nobody.
Wow.
He was a guy who came from kickboxing, had no amateur fights, white boy, kickboxer, nobody who was no punching power, right? But he was patient with his career.
Yeah.
He won. He built himself up. When he got the big fight against Ruslan Provodnikov at 140, he won the world title there. And once he got that one opportunity, once he won that, it catapulted his career to another level. Because then after that,
and that's all it takes. That one opportunity.
He got the Pacquiao fight after that. Yeah. And then once there's certain fighters in boxing. It don't matter if you win or lose or get stopped by them. Once you fight them, your name value goes up.
Yeah.
So like for example, Pacquiao is one of those guys.
Yeah.
Canelo was one of those guys.
Yeah.
Mayweather was one of those guys. Anthony Joshua was one of those guys. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. The fact that you fought them means that you're going to your value is going to go up. So I told this guy, I said, you want to get to that place where you had that flexibility to go fight. Because look, Chris Algieri, he fought Pacquiao on a Top Rank show, but less than a year later he fought Amir Khan on PBC. And it wasn't until just recently, like literally like this year, that he just signed with DAZN. Because the money made sense, and he had built his name to a place where he could dictate terms, and now he's going to be in line for some big fights at 140.
And what's funny is, in life we say when there's an opportunity, take it, because you don't know if it's going to be there tomorrow. And we can see this in an example back here at home, back here in boxing recently with Ruiz. I'm going to go with that, and Bronze Bomber and Ortiz. They had the same opportunity to fight Joshua and take those belts away, and they would have made more money. Maybe not on that fight, but on just getting those 3 belts alone, they could dictate any fight they want and get all the money they want. And Ruiz jumped for that opportunity with less time for training, and he took it.
That's it, because he believed in himself.
Prime example right there. I'm not saying that Ruiz was a better fighter than anybody else with no names, but at least he took the chance and he took the risk to do it, and look where he's at now.
And he was very overlooked at heavyweight for years.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it is what it is. But that's my little story there. To get some comments, Mick Tao, stop aiding me, says, if I had a son like this, I'd be super proud. This brother's doing it all. Interviews, his channel's growing. He's an entrepreneur doing it all. We are watching a young entrepreneur here. Dad's got to be proud.
Proud of him, because I know where he started from, and I see him climbing. And I'll give you a little example. There's other no names I'm gonna throw out here. There's other boxing news companies out here
that you ran into at the fights.
That I ran into they got all kinds of transportation, the best transportation available.
Real estate money.
They got real estate money. They got all the best equipment available. Yo, we're the poor more folks of boxing, but he's doing it from heart. The other day I walked how many miles I walked?
I don't know. You walked
about 8 miles or 10 miles.
Walking the highway.
Yeah, with the True School Sports shorts, just to come here and talk to you guys. What I'm trying to get it, it's all about grinding and how much you want something. And if you have God by your side and you have the will to succeed, it doesn't matter how many bricks, how many obstacles you got to climb. You guys go for it.
There you go. Preach.
And,
Yeah.
and I support you guys because at the same token, you guys are supporting our channel, whether positive or negative or whatever channel. We still talking boxing, whatever it is. We still love you for that, and I'm very grateful for that because without you, he wouldn't be where he's at. So thank you so much.
And listen. On my Instagram name is Jessica from Dania. I always say that at the end of my videos. I know you can love me or hate me. I'm Jessica from Dania. That means like, look, I can have 100,000 subscribers. I'm still gonna be the same.
Yeah.
BT. I'm still approachable. You can talk if you see me at the fight. You can talk to me. In fact, there was one kid at the fight. You'll see a video later. There was one kid at the fight who watched my channel, and we did a video together. So you know.
And what's funny is you got, and I'm just watching this from the outside. I'm like you guys, really believe it or not, I'm on the outside. I go, there's people in the pro boxing that can go to higher and better channels, better connections professionally to get help or talk about anything personally or anything, and you're not gonna believe who they call. I was shocked when I see some of these trainers, some of these boxers that could have all this around them, and they come to talk to my son. And I told my son because you have something in you, you're blessed with it, and I'm blessed that you have it, and I'm thankful that you guys are giving him the props for it, and I'll forever not be grateful for that.
Yeah, and honestly, like I made a post earlier on YouTube. Like I'm blessed with a great father. Like I understand that a lot of people don't get dealt the hand I was dealt. I mean, not to say that I had this great, like, I mean, I love my life, and God has blessed me with a lot of things, but I'm saying, I understand that the majority scenario for most people is that they don't have their fathers in their life. For me, I didn't have my mother in my life, but, like, most people don't have their fathers in their life. So I'm blessed at least to have that, you know, because, you know.
And I'm happy to have him. So thank you guys for everything. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Daniel Vasquez, and this is right up your alley. Have you heard that Daniel Dubois wants to be world champion in 2020? Next year.
I'm glad he wanted this belt. I don't think he's ready for like a bigger fighter than that, bigger fights than that. I think he still needs some. He even said it. He said, "I'm glad I got the British title here," and he said, "I still got a lot learning to do. I'm going to go back into the gym." But let me tell you, somebody compared him to Mike Tyson. They're two different styles of fighters. I think Mike Tyson was a real pit bull.
He reminds me like the way he fights. He reminds me of like he's somewhere. And I'm not saying he's as good as these guys. I'm saying his style reminds me of these guys. He's somewhere in between Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe the way he fights.
Okay.
I'm a bit more patient than Riddick Bowe.
But I think he's still learning as a learning curve for him. And as long as he be patient, now that he's a British champion and he keeps fighting on and defending his title until the bigger fights come in, I don't think you should just rush him into that, even though that's what the promoters want to do right away.
Yeah, and someone said earlier.
I don't think he's a Tyson though. Somebody I was reading, I don't know if it's an article or comment I've seen. I don't know if it's tonight when I seen it. They were saying that he's got the same. He doesn't fight like a Tyson. I'm sorry. Tyson will eat you up alive in one bite. He's young and he's learning, but eventually he will. He's got the power. Don't get me wrong. He's bigger I think he's bigger than Tyson. Matter of fact,
a lot bigger.
He's a lot bigger, and he's got the power, but he's not as aggressive as Tyson was in the ring.
No. What did you make of his fight against Nathan Gorman? Because you're a big Dubois. Don't get it twisted. You've been banging the Dubois drum for quite some time.
I like it for a long time. It's just I just see how again seeing his experience develop from fight to fight and the maturity level, and you can just see it. The last two fights before that, he just ate them guys up like it was for lunch, and he was ready for this fight. Gorman I like, but I think he was just talking too much, and yes, he might have more experience than Dubois, so to speak. But I think at the end of the day, I was just a bigger more fan of Dubois because of he's learned to be more patient. He knows he's got the power, and as a young cat, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes that most fighters do because of rushing everything. He's very patient in the moment he gets.
That's the best quality to me is patience.
Yeah. So that's great. And on the other hand, I also respect Gorman because that's what I love about boxing. When at the end of each fight, they give each other props and respect each other.
Let's say Charlos.
Yeah. Oh, please. Why you just ruin my whole? I just lost my train of thought. But no, I like that. I like to see the camaraderie within the fighters and have respect for each other. So at the end of the day, they both talked in the ring and everything. And I wish Gorman luck, but I don't think he's going to come back to that big dog and knock on his door again anytime soon.
We'll see, man. We'll definitely see. Ronald Figley says Dubois versus Joe Joyce should go down. What you make of that if that happens? I know you didn't have a chance to watch Joe Joyce versus Brian Jennings.
But I know I've seen Joe Joyce fight. If that fight happens, I'm going to take Dubois. I think Dubois has more power.
Listen,
that power he has, and the way he's patient and everything, and that young buck is not going to go down like Easy Branch. It'll take a lot to take him down. I don't think I like Joe. I'm a big fan of Joe. Don't get me wrong. I like Joe Joyce too. I like him, I like everything, but I just don't think he can take him.
Listen, Joe Joyce, I thought he won his fight pretty convincingly against Ryan Jennings. I thought he won 8 rounds to like 4.
Mhm.
9 rounds to 3, 8 rounds to 4. But man, he's so hittable. Like if Brian Jennings ate some fish and some chicken and some salmon and stopped that vegan, like listen, I'm making a video about this soon, but I want to touch on it a bit here. Brian Jennings needs to stop being a damn vegan. Look, and if there's any vegans here, no disrespect to you guys. I'm talking about if you're a professional athlete, you're in the heavyweight division. Okay, listen, I've done a little bit of research on veganism. I know that when you're a vegan, whether you get your protein or not, the fact of the matter is your iron level is lower when you're a vegan. And every boxer I've ever seen that has been a vegan has two traits. They're cut up as hell, but they have no punching power.
Wow.
Timothy Bradley, Brian Jennings.
Wow.
They're one and the same. Only difference is I think Bradley is more skilled than Jennings, but I'm just saying.
I'm saying, just to be fair, there's other foods that contain protein that can help you build up the amino acids in your body to produce muscle and healthier for you.
So I'm saying.
I mean, so it's an argument where it's like the Joshua thing with the muscles and being a boxer and being toned down. It's the same thing with being a vegan.
Bro, he was. If you see, listen, when you get a chance to watch his fight, look at some of these shots he's hitting Joe Joyce with. Like if a heavyweight with any punching power is hitting him with these shots, he's getting hurt. He's getting because he's a vegan and he has I listen. I might sound crazy, but I legitimately believe that the reason Brian Jennings isn't I'm not saying he would be an elite puncher if he had chicken and salmon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like if he was eating properly with chicken, salmon, things like that, then he would probably punch a little bit harder. He might be a more dangerous heavyweight. I actually feel like veganism is hindering Brian Jennings from being a better fighter.
So just for argument's sake, not that who's right, who's wrong. So you're telling me if I a can of beans, a can of anything that has high protein in it, that's not meat, it won't give me the same nutrient value in my body that.
Well,
meat
no,
does?
the thing is,
okay,
it'll still give you some protein. You can still get protein without those things. But your iron, there's no iron in his damn blood because he's being a vegan.
I think and that I understand because you do have to eat meat for vitamin B, right? Is that what they say for iron and everything in your body? Mm-hmm. And the vegetables have protein, but they don't have the iron that he needs.
Exactly.
Even if you take supplements, I totally don't. I'm not against supplements, but I think when you eat from the way God made things to be, the natural state as far as eating meat or eating whatever you want to eat, I think it's better than just taking all these chemical made supplements to take.
It'd be great to talk with Chris Algieri about this.
Oh, what? Yeah.
I don't know if he would agree with it. I would actually like to see what Chris Algieri thinks about it because I know he's close with Brian Jennings. They both get their work down there at the Boca Power a lot. Yeah. So
but he probably open up also a different viewpoint that me and you are not seeing.
Probably.
So, at the end of the day, we're not hating on vegans. We respect vegans. We're just saying that as far as that, you need that vitamin B, which is true. You need that iron from the meat to give you that. We all need that for our blood, for everything else. So you might have a legitimate point there.
We'll see, man. But Dre the Great says True School Sports Management. Yeah, champ. I mean, I've thought about being a boxing manager for like 3 years. To be honest with you, I've had 4 fighters. Tell me that I should be a boxing manager. Yeah. And then the fighter I talked to last night, he told me if I ever do decide to be a boxing manager, that he'll be my first fighter. Yeah. So if I decided today I wanted to be a boxing manager. Yeah. I have a fight and a good. I'm not you. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't know if this guy will be world champion, but I think this guy if I move him properly, he'll be a top contender.
And it's funny we're talking about that. I'm not gonna name the fighter. That my son was telling me that he sees that managing him real bad. My son was giving me a game plan already on how he would take him.
Oh yeah, there's a fighter here. There's a fighter here in South Florida who I'm very cool with, and I remember I was telling my dad. I had a conversation with my dad 2 weeks ago because we were going out of town to go see my uncle, and I was telling him about how I was thinking about being a boxing manager, and I gave him a whole how I would move a certain fighter, what our ultimate goal would be. I was telling my dad, this fighter's from South Florida. He's kind of a big deal here in South Florida. I wanna get him to the point where he could fight at Marlins Park and sell 37,000 tickets.
Yeah, I knew.
Or any of the big stadiums, And I was actually telling him we would fight at the big venues in South Florida. First we fight, a couple more fights at the Hard Rock. Then we graduate and fight at the Miami Hurricanes basketball arena. Then from there, we'll take him out of town a little bit, get a couple fights there. Then we bring him back to South Florida. Then you can fight at the BB&T Center, home of the Panthers, and then take him out of town a couple more times, and then Marlins Park.
And then at the end of the day, all you boxers out there that really want to, if he ever becomes a manager, you want to get him. You know why? Because this is how you know he's very sincere. What he does, and that's what he says. He says, I know what being a promoter is about money, making money, this and that, but I'm not gonna take from my fighter's money. I want to look out for the best for him.
Yeah.
And he sees through his experience now, like he knows a lot of promoters. You'd be surprised. And he says, no, I can't. I would not never treat my fighters that way. I wouldn't shortchange my fighters to give their life.
Why would you? They're the ones that are giving you your money. Why would you do that? The more money you make, the more they make, the more money you make.
Exactly.
It's as simple as that.
But they're not seeing it like that.
No, because they want to shortchange them. And a lot of times egos get in the way. Sometimes you get promoters, like smaller promoters. You get smaller promoters who they want to keep their fighters on at a certain level, and they don't want their fighters to sell certain tickets or continue to win, because if the fighter continues to win, then they don't want the fighter to leave them.
That's crazy.
But that happens a lot in boxing.
And he was giving me an example last night. I won't say the promoter's name or anything, but he was telling me this promoters out there that they're happy if they get just a little small of the pie, and they have small venues, than having all these big venues and be greedy with money and just short.
Yeah, there's promoters in boxing who literally make their names in their careers. Their lifeblood is small hall club show, which isn't a bad thing, because there's a place for everyone in boxing. Not everybody's gonna listen. Not everybody's gonna be Don King. Not everybody's gonna be Eddie Hearn. But there's places for guys like and I was thinking about was Russell Peltz from Peltz Boxing in Philadelphia.
Okay.
I mean, the guy's been in boxing 50 years. Put on some of the best shows boxing's ever seen in Philadelphia.
Yep.
So there's places for everybody in boxing. But yeah. I have a soft spot for fighters because in my lifetime I've sparred a couple hundred rounds in the ring, and I've trained, and I like boxing. I've been here for a lot of years, and I've always wanted to get involved in boxing in some way.
He's got so many opportunities for so many things. It was funny. He was sparring one guy a few weeks ago. He knocked the shit out of him in the ring. That guy didn't want no part of him no more sparring.
Oh yeah.
At all. He didn't want no part.
I'm not gonna disrespect him. I like.
No. When I'm trying to disrespect him, I'm just saying in general. He said he was no part of him. He's like, oh, I got this, I got that. But they're good friends. But my point being is that even the big dogs are telling him, you have a lot of opportunity in boxing while you're still young. You decide what you want to do. If True School Sports is it, so be it. If you want to try management and True School Sports, do that. So he's.
Well, I was telling you, I was saying, well, if I do become a boxing manager, if I do become a boxing manager, I'll have something that, because a lot of times fighters, they get mad at the media, but I am the media. I'm the manager and the media. So they can literally break, if they want to control the narrative of the career, they can do it here on True School Sports.
No problem.
With no problems.
Because I'm the one who be dictating.
And then that will thus in turn build value upon their names. See that?
And then learn the boxing game and the politics. You ain't even going to believe this. There's promoters out there, they become your friend.
Yes.
And then they talk about your fighters and let you do interviews with them, put them on the channel. And then when they have a riff with their fighters, they indirectly go roundabout way and try to tell all the videos you make of that fighter, don't put them on your channel.
That's happened to me, a couple times.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of shit is that?
So, like, a lot of times these promoters, they want their fighters to get exposure. Then when I give them exposure, they go and tell the trainer that they want me to take the video down.
They won't tell him.
And then I take the video down because I'm not like, okay, whatever. It's so petty, like whatever.
Yeah.
But then when nobody knows who the fuck their fighter is, but you told me but nobody knows who their fighter is, they get mad because they're not getting exposure. But then I gave you exposure, and then you took away from the exposure.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. So I mean, I'm learning more every day. I'm hanging out with my son. I'm learning more and more about this boxing game. It's not as easy as you think it is.
It's crazy.
Every day I could just imagine.
It's like the wild west.
Yeah.
Homer Simpson says, "What would you say if Andy Ruiz beats Anthony Joshua again? What would you say?"
I don't see that. I honestly, I don't see that. I don't see that happening.
That's what. Yeah.
I don't. And you. It's funny you asked that question because we were talking about that off air too. My son was like, "Dad, a lot of people think that Andy Ruiz is going to come back and do this." He says, my son asked me, "Why do you think Anthony Joshua is going to come back and beat Andy Ruiz?" I said, he came out right after the fight, and a few days afterwards, he came out and said, I want to go back where I got my ass kicked, not in some other words, got my butt kicked, and want to go back to New York and redeem myself. That alone showed me that he like he said, I came from a long way to just lose him just like that. So right then when he said that to me, I already know most boxers won't go back to the same venue and fight the same guy again.
No, absolutely not.
And he went across the pond and did it. So he's basically saying, I'm going to come back and do that. And then if Andy Ruiz loses, I'm not hitting on him, then so be it. But I just, in my gut, I have a funny feeling that when Joshua comes back this time, he's not going to be playing around. he's coming for him. And by his statement, when he said right after the fight, right away to Hearn, I don't care if in the UK I saw $90,000 tickets or whatever. I don't care about that. I care to get my name clean, redeemed right here, and that's what champions do. They come back, and they rebuilt the legacy, and they come back and show why they're champions.
I respect the mentality, but I was at my friend's house the other day, and I was binge watching. I was rewatching a bunch of Anthony Joshua fights.
What did you see wrong? Or what did you? But you one time you told me that you thought that training needs to change the trainer.
Well, I think he should train trainers, not because he lost, because I think he needs to develop new habits. Because I'll give you an example, right? I was watching the Klitschko fight, right? I'll be watching the Vladimir Klitschko fight, and you know he won, massive respect to him. But after Klitschko knocked him down, right? It took Anthony Joshua from the 5th round to the 8th round to recover. For 3 rounds, he was huffing and puffing. He had no stamina. The Ruiz fight, he was huffing and puffing around the 3rd, 4th, 5th round as well.
Yeah.
The only difference between Ruiz and Klitschko is not a fighter that, like, even when he was in his prime, when he was younger, Klitschko's not a fighter that likes to push the pace. So Joshua had time to sit there. All he had to do was sit on the outside and make sure he didn't get caught and recover.
Right.
With Ruiz, you don't get time to recover. You need to know how to shield punches. You need to know how to keep him off you, keep him at bay, and jab him.
Yeah.
So, it was the 5th round of that fight. He spit out his mouthpiece. The same way he spit out his mouthpiece against Ruiz, he did against Klitschko. I forgot about that. He spit it out against Klitschko in that 5th round as well.
Oh,
so I said, shit, man, I'm not so sure he's gonna win the rematch. I want him to win the rematch. It's no secret. I like Joshua.
Yeah.
He's someone that I've grown to like here, making so many damn videos about him over the years.
Yeah.
But I'm not so sure he could beat Ruiz in the rematch. And I'm not really sold on him beating Ruiz in the rematch because Ruiz is, first of all, if Ruiz trains, which I think he will, because he still has a lot to earn. If he wins the rematch, he's the cash cow of boxing.
Let me ask you a question. Would you guys rather prefer Ruiz to just go ahead and fight Bronze Bomber, or would you guys like to see the rematch of Joshua, and why?
I'd rather him fight Joshua.
I'm just
to hell with Wilder. To hell with Wilder. Wilder don't even deserve it. He don't even deserve a ham sandwich from the heavyweight division.
Oh, a glass of water.
A glass of water. The way he's been ducking fighters and being in witness protection. No disrespect to him, great talent, but ducking fighters left and right. He needs to wait his turn. Let them do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
You fight Fury. You beat Fury, you get an undisputed fight.
And I think did you tell me Holyfield said he sparring one time and he noticed that Ruiz had quick hands, and those hands.
Yeah, he said.
And Jesse Robinson said the same thing, right?
Yep, Jesse Robinson said the same thing. They said Ruiz has some of the fastest hands they've ever seen, and Holyfield just the other day. There's a video coming out on this. In a couple of days or so. Evander Holyfield told me that the only 2 fighters he ever fought, sparring or in the ring,
out of shape or whatever.
Sparring or in the ring, the only 2 fighters he ever sparred or fought in the ring that could match his hand speed were Riddick Bowe and Andy Ruiz Jr. That's it.
He could Andy Ruiz
That's it.
That's crazy.
That is it.
But there was something else that they said about if you spar all the time. What they say, I think there was somebody brought it up at the gym the other day. Say the more you spar or the more you do, the better you get with your hands and everything. If you're always constantly doing your training. You know what happened?
No, I'm not gonna read it.
That's what you say.
No, because if I read it, then we're gonna have to talk about it. I don't want to pissed off.
What was it?
You know what I'm talking about? Number 12.
Yeah.
Someone said talk about number 12.
Right now. Talk about number 12. This is boxing. I signed a contract. I can't break the contract.
Someone said, don't forget about us, True School. I ain't gonna forget about nobody. I'm still the same guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to young entrepreneurs. You got a champ, Pops.
Thank you.
One guy said, I wish I had a relationship with my father like you do.
We talk about everything, believe it or not.
We talk about everything.
We might not agree on a lot of things, but we still talk about.
We disagree a lot, but we talk about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think Canelo is gonna fight in September?
Who's he supposed to be fighting? Who do they want to fight?
Nobody knows yet. The options he has are Caleb Smith, Bubu Andrade.
I would love. I mean, since he got that cheesy belt, I mean, you better do something with it besides sit back and just carry it around. I mean, you got to be more active than a lot of the fighters. Only I say that because you're supposedly the cash cow. You bring all this stuff. Okay, now it's your time. You got Bubu Andrade. You got Callum Smith. And I want him to fight Saunders. I don't know why. Billy Joe Sanders.
He could fight.
I would love to see that fight. So, I mean, I don't know.
I just want to speak English.
Well, so don't worry. When they knock the tail out of him, he'll learn it real quick. But, I mean, my point being is people make a big thing about him. Okay, now you got this. Get out there and fight the fighters. What are you waiting for? You know?
He's waiting for Oscar to get
First it was I heard Munguia. Then I heard Andre.
Yo, if he fights Munguia, I'm done. That's what he's going to fight.
You think so?
Yeah.
Even after the disappointing fight that he had?
Yep. Especially after the disappointing fight he had.
What do you think is even more motivated?
Because if Munguia even does so much as win a round or two, they're gonna say, and he fought so well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I hope this is a fight that comes out with him. Seriously, yeah.
Yeah. People were chiming in about the whole veganism thing. They said, I'll read you a couple comments.
Sure.
Vegan works for a lot of people. Even, hold on, even a bull, 15 pounds of strength, power, and agility doesn't eat meat. Then another guy said, we ain't bulls, we ain't animals, we thrive on meat. If we're supposed to eat meat, then why are our mouths full of sharp, pointy teeth like a shark or a tiger? And he ain't taking those vitamins. He's completely anti-meat. Okay. Our mouths, our teeth. We thought about meat, protein.
I agree. I think we
meat.
We were built to eat. Well, not us. Vegetation, our body. Too much meat is not good for you either. I mean, it's not good for the body.
No, but you need to get a healthy dosage of meat.
Yeah, for your iron. I got you. But I'm just telling you. So, it's always gonna be a pros and cons. I've never tried vegan, whatever it's called.
Why would you?
Vegan,
sounds horrible.
But it says healthy.
Okay, so is meat. Steak.
Yeah, but you can't
salmon.
Eat a lot of it. If you eat meat throughout the years,
okay, you gotta balance. You balance out your fruits. You balance out your grains. You balance out your vegetables.
So you say if you have a balance in eating the meat,
you balance it out. But you can't get cut out meat.
Yeah.
We are meat.
Well, what I'm trying to say, if he's just taking those vitamin B, iron, or whatever he's taking, and he thinks that's enough, no, it's a big difference. You gotta have iron for your body needs it. So yeah, so I respect everybody on whatever they feel is right for them. I respect them whatever they do. I mean, doesn't he have a trainer or a nutritionist supposedly?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't they try? Oh, sorry. But how many years has he been a vegan or whatever it's called?
Listen, I started following Brian Jennings on Instagram like 4 or 5 years ago. He's been a vegan ever since I've been following him on Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's not giving it up now.
No.
And he's just gonna get his ass kicked.
That's it. Anybody with punch power is beaten.
Hey, what do you think about Joseph Parker on the same subject? Do you think he should be entitled for another title fight soon? Oh, coming up or no?
No, he's gotta win some fights. Like
he
beat what's the guy's name? Alex Leopold. He fought Alex Leopold, who at this stage of his career is not a high level contender. Yeah. I feel like if he wants to get a world title fight, he needs to either I think he needs to beat somebody on that second tier heavyweight. So I'm talking a guy like Ortiz, Vetkin,
how about this cat that
even if he fought the guy from Croatia, Filip Hrgovic, if he fought him and beat him, that'd be a good fight.
But how about somebody else brought one of your comments that they would like to see the guy from Al Heyman's side, what's his name, the African dude, C-Fit, what his name is?
Let me cut you off. Somebody asked you, what's late night side we're eating? We're eating pretzels tonight. Pretzels. Let's go, champ. Pretzels.
What? But I'm gonna tell you. I would like to see Joseph Parker. Will you put him with that guy? The crazy black dude that just won.
Charles Martin.
Yeah.
Who, Parker?
Yeah. Parker was throwing.
He's with Al Heyman butter.
Okay.
Like Al Heyman's trying to build him up to be a Deontay Wilder opponent, so that's not gonna happen.
Guys, when we talking about this, I got Rivas this weekend over
what?
About Dillian White.
Okay.
I like the underdog.
So he's saying he's got Oscar Rivas upsetting Dillian White. Why do you got Oscar Rivas beating Dillian White?
I don't know. I just got that. I mean, Dillian White's a powerful fighter too, and he's hungry and everything. But I just think Rivas he's quiet. People underestimate him, but he's gonna come out and put a. The way I seen him the other day, a couple weeks ago, hitting that bag, I said he's gonna tear this guy's neck off.
So you see a hunger in him.
Yeah, I see. I didn't expect that when he had the last fight
against Jennings.
No, I thought Jennings. I was like, yeah, Jennings, yeah, go Philly, go, yeah. Next thing I know, yeah,
bang, bang.
Jennings. I said, where did that come from? So I think it's gonna be a real test for Vivas. I mean, I'm pretty sure people got Dillian White being the favorite to win the fight, but I'm picking Vivas.
Okay, all right. Daniel Vasquez says, I feel that Joshua should hire Teddy Atlas as a trainer. I feel they can build a connection.
No, he knows. Like, I like Teddy Atlas. You got a good point there. But you know who else wants him? Stacey McKinley.
Yeah?
I think Stacey McKinley wants him. I think he'd be good too. But I mean, at the end of the day, change is good no matter what. Look what happened to Kovalov. I go back to that illustration.
With Buddy McGirt.
Yeah, and they've become a good one team. And even Pacquiao made a change when he came back to Roach, but it's two trainers, usually two heads and arguing back and forth. So yeah, I mean, whatever works, you know.
Yeah.
I think you were bringing up about some boxers having two strength coach. You don't agree with that?
Yeah, Thurman.
Yeah, because you say that.
I think. Listen, I'm gonna say this to you guys. All right, this is my take on strength and conditioning coaches.
Yeah.
In all my years, I've met covering boxing, I probably met about 10 to 15 strength and conditioning coaches. Of the 10 to 15 strength and conditioning coaches I met, only 2 of them were worth a damn.
Wow.
I think a strength and conditioning coach in boxing is the most pointless and stupid thing you could ever
It slows the boxing
hire.
down, right?
First of all, number one, okay, most strength and conditioning coaches come from other sports like basketball and football, and they don't know how to train fighters and get their body prepared for boxing. So if you get a strength coach, they need to have an understanding for how boxing works, how the different muscle groups have to be to develop a fighter. So that's why most strength and conditioning coaches suck in boxing. There's only 2 strength and conditioning coaches. I'll name them too.
I know.
There's only 2 strength and conditioning coaches worth a damn that I met in boxing. Number 1 is Larry Wade. Larry Wade is the strength and conditioning coach for Sean Porter and Caleb Plant. And the other strength and conditioning coach I met is a guy named, I don't think he's a strength and conditioning coach anymore, but he was for a time. A guy named Desmond Wilford. He was Terrence Crawford's strength and conditioning coach for about 3-4 fights. Wow. Okay, those are the only 2 strength and conditioning coaches I've met in my time in boxing who are worth a damn. Everyone else was just a parasite getting a check.
And it's the same saying like.
And fighters actually wind up having less endurance because of the strength and conditioning coach.
If you and because where you eat too. If you walk the walk and you talk the talk, then you could be a strength for the sport or in boxing or nutritionist because you've done that. Like prime example, Chris Jerry, he's good at being a nutritionist now because he's been a boxer. He understands the sport completely. Mm-hmm. He knows what it takes to be do this and do that. So you gotta have the people that know the sport. Even if you change from one sport to another, it's not like the same training as in football, as it is to baseball, as it is to boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything's different. One thing I was listening to Pacquiao giving one of the videos earlier. I was listening. He said that stamina is one of the biggest important things that boxers don't know. Is the best thing to have when you're going into a fight.
It's the most important thing you need.
Because he says that the more you train and the harder you push yourself, like not just like you go harder and harder. When late in the fight, the guy's burnt out. That's when you come in. And if you see Pacquiao's style, it's like that. So you gotta. My whole point is you gotta understand, live, breathe, and eat boxing 24/7, like Stacey McKinley says. Mm-hmm. And you gotta understand the sport completely all the way around. The nutrition, the weight training. Because honestly, let's get it straight. Boxing is not weightlifting.
No.
You know?
That's why guys like Brian Jennings, who have all these muscles and don't eat meat, they have no punch power. Yeah. Same thing with Timothy Bradley. No punch power. Gerald Miller, you see him on Instagram. He's doing 10 reps of dumbbell or 150 dumbbells, and then he goes in the ring and he punches like a fairy.
Yeah.
For heavyweights, he does.
Because it tightens up a lot of your muscles too. I think you have to have your muscles toned, not. You know what I mean?
Like for example, right? 2 fighters I know. Okay, I remember one time when I was training. When I was training at Canino's boxing gym. Big shout out to Bonnie Canino. I was asking Bonnie because I was like 19. I didn't know shit about training. I asked Bonnie. I said, Bonnie, is it good? Because I wanted to have the muscles. You know, I wanted to look good, and I wanted to like appeal to women and stuff like that at the time. Like I'll be honest with you.
Right.
So I was asking her, you know, do you think I should lift weights? Because I was even skinnier than I am now at the time. And she said, no. You know, I don't think it's good for you to lift weights because it make your muscles tight, and on top of that, it's really more about what you eat than lifting and stuff. Because so make sure you're eating your baked potatoes, your grains, your pastas, things like that. And then she gave me an example. She said, Brandon, you see Roy Jones Jr.? I said, yeah, I see Roy Jones Jr. You see how his bio looks? I said, yeah, I see how his bio looks. He didn't lift no weights. He can sit the damn bag all the time. Roy Jones Jr. Wow. I said, damn, I'm trying to put that back. I want to look like Roy Jones Jr. So. I mean, and the same thing with Bo. Yeah. Bo, a couple years ago, he said, when he fought, Riddick Bowe, when he fought, he barely lifted weights. Never lift weights. Ever. You see, in fact, there's a video I have from like a couple years ago when he was lifting weights. He looks like he fucking doesn't know what he's doing.
He was a trip, yeah. And I'm sure, I mean, there's a fine line between keeping your muscles toned for boxing.
Yep.
And weightlifting. If you want to be a weightlifter, then you go to what is it called? The weightlifting competition.
Yeah, Mr. Olympia or the World's Strongest Man.
You know.
You know, it's funny. Gerald Miller, if you see him, he's like, yeah, I get my boxing training, and he's hanging out with these bodybuilder dudes. Don't know shit about boxing.
Yeah.
You know, Mike Rashid, like these guys at Mr. Olympia. Like, and that doesn't do anything for a fight. It's not bodybuilding.
No.
That's why you get guys like Tony Bellew and Andy Ruiz and all these fat guys winning world titles because they can fight and they have stamina.
That's crazy. It's true. They were saying that. I listened to a podcast. They were talking about. They said you would have never thought that Andy was gonna come in there and do that, but that's why. Like,
no.
The same point you said.
Not a bodybuilding contest.
Exactly. So yeah.
All right. Let's see. My main man, Hawker Mustang says, who do you think Wilder is fighting next?
I think he's fighting Ortiz.
Now, I'll tell you who he's not fighting. He's not fighting Fury, Joshua, White, or Adam Kalnaki. Which you know what? If Al Heyman wanted to put Wilder on a witness protection program like he's been doing, and, you know, big shout out to the Deontay Wilder witness protection program. But if he wanted to keep them in witness protection and duck fights, and put him in only in-house fights, put him in there with Kanaki, because I think Kanaki and him would be a good fight.
Let's see what's up.
And see, because Kanaki got a good work rate, can punch really good.
Yeah.
I like to see that fight, but I think he's gonna fight Ortiz next. I think right now it's the perfect fight for him because Ortiz, he's shown his level in his last couple of fights, and like he's fought Christian Hammer and Travis Kaufman since then, two guys who are on like that fifth tier heavyweights.
Right.
These guys are solid fighters.
They're done pretty much.
But they're fourth or fifth tier. He's
Yeah.
elite. He's not even. He's elite. He's the creme de la creme of the division.
Yeah.
And you're fighting these fourth, fifth tier guys. Well, actually, no, Ortiz is probably like he's not elite anymore, but he's on that second tier.
But either
You're on the second tier. You're fighting
guys.
guys on the fourth, fifth, sixth tier, and Kaufman and Christian Hammer.
Well, I think a lot of it.
And he's not even stopping them. He's not even stopping them.
The only fight that I think he made a mistake in was when he had a shot for Joshua and when he had a shot he wanted to wait for Deontay. I know he wants to redeem himself, but he would have made more money off the Joshua fight. It's my own personal thing.
I think so.
But we'll see what happens. But I honestly think Bronson was going to fight him. I mean, he's talking about, I want to fight Ruiz now. Oh, yeah, you didn't want to step in the ring with Joshua, but you want to go fight Ruiz.
Yeah, he was,
He might beat the shit out of you, too, the way he punches his speed. You just
True.
never know.
You just never know. I know when I was talking to Chris Algieri a couple weeks at the Fifth Street Gym.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the only people I've heard say that's like a pro in the fight game, saying, I think Ortiz has a great chance.
Yeah.
And I said, really? And, you know, I don't think, I'm not going to sit here and say Algieri doesn't know shit about because he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
You know, holds
Somebody
mitts,
else I
cooks,
asked,
best-selling author.
just recently we talked about, I forgot who we were talking to, and he picked he said Ortiz, and I don't think he was there.
Listen, I think Ortiz is getting retired that fight. Retired. He's getting permanently beaten into retirement.
He should have retired fighting Joshua. He would have got more money than he's going to probably get for this fight. But then again, how the boxers say, Al's good to me, so who knows?
Oh, hey, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But, so yeah, that's that Wilder. Rivas is going to lay the smackdown on Dillian White, so Rob Dick Long agrees.
I'm with you.
Agrees with you. Could happen, man. I think that fight, there's going to be some of the best exchanges.
When's the last fight that Dylan had to fight? When did he last fight?
His last fight was...
How long now? Oh, he talks more than he fights now.
No, he fought Derek Chisora last December.
Okay, it's January 1st.
7 months.
Okay,
7 months. When he knocked out Derek Chisora about December, late November, early December.
Well, this guy right here is not no Chisora. They
No.
never even fought either, right? They never fought each other either, right? Beavers and
White?
Chisoras.
No. The only person that Rivas has really fought in the pros is Jennings. Really.
That's it?
That's it, really, yeah. It's enough though. It's enough. He came in as a B-side.
Yeah.
Knocked him the hell out. Jennings doesn't. I know Jennings. I'm saying a bunch of shit about him, but he's still a top 25 heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's not. You know, there's a top 25, 30. He's still a good heavyweight.
Yeah.
But he's just not. You know, he's probably like lower third tier, lower third tier. I won't say he's fourth tier. He's like lower third tier.
Right.
Heavyweight. One thing I want to ask you about too, because I know you had a chance to watch some of the card because it was on FS1.
Oh man.
And I didn't get a chance to watch it because I had a chance to watch it, but I wanted to take a nap.
Yeah.
You decided to watch it. It was the PBC card. You had Jamal James versus Antonio DeMarco over there in Minnesota, and then we also saw Gerald Washington versus Robert Helenius. Now, did you watch the whole Helenius Gerald Washington fight?
I didn't watch the whole fight on that one. I tuned off a little bit. I came back and I caught the other one, but from that fight, I think Helenius was winning when I shut it off.
I think Gerald Washington wound up stopping him.
Okay. Oh yeah, he did.
I think he did. I'm not sure.
Y'all
let us know because I think Gerald Washington stopped him.
But the fight that I did watch was the full fight of
Jamal James and DeMarco.
Yeah, and that's got to be right now one of the fight of the year fights.
So was it
constant action? Yeah.
Was it everything that people were saying it was?
It was good. For me. It was constant action. He would come back, boom, boom, boom. James would come back, boom, boom, boom. He would come back and hit him because DeMarco was hitting more, trying to break down that tree, going to that liver, most of the time to the body. And I thought by that 8th round, 7th round, he would take him, but no, James held on and did his thing. I'll just say it was very action packed. It was not you got your money's worth in that fight.
Okay.
So I enjoyed that fight a lot. I really did. I thought DeMarco was going to come back and win because he was going to the body a lot, but at the same time, he was leaving his face open a lot, and James took advantage of all that. So, and yet, by the time the fight, he probably might have made any kind of adjustment. He had his eyes already swollen, but that was a great fight.
Okay, yeah, and that's a good win because DeMarco's one of them fighters, like especially in the PBC side of things. He's one of those fighters where if you're a welterweight prospect, as Jamal James is at the moment, if you're not good enough or you're not on your P's and Q's, he'll beat you. I mean, he fought. Yeah. I remember he handed Eddie Ramirez his ass on a silver platter. I mean, I thought it was a bad stoppage, but still, he caught Eddie Ramirez with a good shot. Eddie Ramirez was a good prospect at the time. You know, he was kind of a good string of wins, beat some good prospects in the PBC stable, and he was undefeated.
Yeah.
Got caught one shot, and DeMarco finished his ass.
That was it.
And Eddie Ramirez even in the same sense. He began stopped left, right, center.
I'm telling you, he's got knockout power. The only thing he didn't do, he didn't knock out the guy out.
What, Jamal James?
Jamal James didn't knock out what his name is.
DeMarco, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't knock him out, but he's got knockout power. But I mean, that guy was tough too.
I remember when Adrian Borner. That was Adrian Borner's best performance when he fought DeMarco.
You serious?
Look,
was it back in the day when he was serious?
This is when he was serious. He was skinny and he was
all about being serious.
He was actually
not
serious.
About the billions.
Like people, you know, people say Adrian Borner, like, oh, I think Adrian Borner was talented. He could do this, that.
Yeah.
That fight right there is an example of what he could have been if he continued to
stay focused on the road. Yeah.
Like, cause he was. You ever seen the highlights of that fight?
Never seen it. I'm gonna check it out.
Combinations, count. Oh.
But he was a world champion too, wasn't he? At the time,
I believe DeMarco
on his low weights.
He was a world champion at some point. Yeah. So there's that. Someone asked, or someone said, Wilder's going to be 50-0 with a bum resume. Daniel Vasquez said that.
Yeah, you're right. I always say.
And then the LDBC is gonna say they're gonna say when he's 50-0 and he's not getting no credit, they're gonna say, well, he's not getting any credit because he's black and America is racist.
It's got nothing to do with that. The man that you think grab.
No, that's what they're gonna say. I mean, and then we're gonna say, well, how about when he was fighting Chris Arreola?
Yeah,
with that one.
Yeah, I always say, and I tell my son this: a resume is built, or your legacy is based on your resume. And if your resume doesn't have good fighters on it, doesn't mean jack.
Don't mean a damn thing.
Yeah.
In my States of Kinley boys.
Yeah.
Heyman probably looking to cash the old Cuban out now.
Oh, I mean, you think so?
Absolutely. And then he's got opponents he's building up for him. Like, I think after he fights Ortiz, he'll probably fight, if not Fury, I think he's going to fight Adam Konaki. And then after Konaki, I think he'll probably, if Charles Martin gets another one, I think he'll fight Charles Martin.
Who, Ortiz? Wilder? Well,
could y'all imagine that? Because for those of you who don't know, Charles Martin, he fought on the undercard of DeMarco versus Jamal James. He fought heavyweight journeyman Daniel Martz. And Daniel Martz, just so you know, Daniel Martz is a journeyman, and Al Heyman uses him consistently to recycle amongst his
That's
heavyweights.
Crazy, yeah.
When he wants to get one of his heavyweights a win, he puts him in with Daniel Martz. Example.
That's like a booster fight.
When Ortiz, the fight right before Ortiz fought Wilder down here in Miami, he fought Daniel Martz.
That's like a booster fight.
And Ortiz got a knockout against Daniel Martz, and then that put more hype into a Wilder fight. So Charles Martin fought Daniel Martz. I think he stopped him in the third or fourth round.
Yeah.
And now he's got so Charles Martin actually. He's on a good little 2-fight win streak here. He just beat my main man Gregory Corbin, which I honestly it disgusts me to this day that I have to say that because Gregory Corbin should have never lost to Charles Martin. And then he got a win against Daniel Martz. So look, if he gets another, I'm saying right now, if he gets another win, I can see it now. They're gonna put Charles Martin on TV again on a bigger card. He's gonna get a win against somebody, and then he will be used. I'm telling you right now. Take it to the bank, guys. Take what I'm saying to the bank. Take it what I'm saying to the bank. If Charles Martin gets 1 or 2 more wins, he will be a Deontay Wilder opponent. No doubt about it. Al Heyman's already working on building him up right now.
Another fight that I'm waiting to see. Are we finished with this, man?
No, we got one more thing after this. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm getting excited, of course, for the Pacquiao Thurman fight, but I also Caleb Plant in that fight. I'm waiting for that fight. I'm dying for that fight.
Oh, someone mentioned earlier that they said they think Caleb Plant is going to outbox Mike Lee, but they also said they could see Mike Lee catching Caleb Plant and dropping him, stopping him.
To be fair, I really haven't seen much. I don't know his fights. I have to go YouTube and see Mike Lee fights, see how he fights. So I can't take nothing away from him, but I do like Caleb Plant all the way around.
All you need to know about Mike Lee is he's slightly thicker and bigger. Mm-hmm. He's coming down from 160 to 160, so he fights at a higher weight class.
So I'm also excited. I can't wait for Benavidez and Durrell when they fight. Ooh, Benavidez coming out to get his belts back. Anthony Durrell better watch out.
Ronald Finkley, I don't know if you're still here, but he asked me. He said, "What do I think about Alicia Baumgartner, the women's boxer?" First of all, let me just say this, okay? If I ever meet Alicia Baumgartner, she can get it. She's very.
You're talking about
she's a very attractive woman.
boxing or physical?
I'm talking about. I'm against the boxing. Physically, when it comes to Alicia Baumgartner,
good, yeah.
physically, she's someone that's she's someone that's very high on my list.
Yeah.
As far as women's boxers go, I put her just behind my future baby mom, Sinisa Estrada. She's just right behind her.
Yeah.
But look, as far as boxing goes, I've seen I had a chance to watch her fight much, but just from seeing her hit the pads and
Yeah, she looks good though.
she's got very good combinations. Put the punches together really good.
And she trains hard too.
Got solid power. I think when you ask me, and you say Brendan Taylor. When you say BT, who are some women's fighters you think could actually go far and become superstars? I feel like with the right promotion, she could be built up right, because you gotta understand. Look, I got 4 eyes, he's got 4 eyes, just like you guys have 2 eyes. Okay, all right. With women's boxing, the fact of the matter is, women's sports is not taken as seriously as men's sports. This is not me being sexist. This is just a fact. And that's reflected very much in TV ratings, ticket sales, things like that. Now, I don't think that men or people in general should have to support women's boxing just because it's women's boxing or women's sports. I feel like if the product is good, then it will warrant supporting. Okay. There can't be equality amongst genders because there's not even equality amongst men. Like, for example, we'll use basketball for example. LeBron James. He makes like what, $35 million a season. Do you think that what's that white guy's name that dunks the Lakers? There's a white guy that dunks on everybody. I can't remember his name.
Not cool.
There's a white guy. I can't remember his name right now. Okay, we'll use Kuzma. Do you think Kyle Kuzma should get paid as much as LeBron James?
No.
Why not? Don't you want equality?
I mean, LeBron James has earned the stripes.
Okay, LeBron James, exactly, and it's not just that. LeBron James is bringing in so much money.
Yeah.
He's a global, well-known figure.
And when he was here in Miami, I'm lying to you guys. When he came to the Heat, freaking Moss took down half.
Oh my God! Listen, when LeBron James, I'll never forget it. Listen, I've been living in South Florida my whole damn life, and he always do pretty well with attendance. They're pretty good. They have a good fan base. But I'll tell you right now, before, because I was going to high school when LeBron went to the Heat, I was in high school. So I remember this really well. And listen,
oh my God.
Everybody in high school, the year before LeBron came to the Heat, everybody in my high school were bandwagons. They like the Lakers because they like Kobe, and they like LeBron, and they like the Cavaliers because of LeBron. And then you had people who just want to support the hometown team and they like the Heat. I'm a Hornets fan, or back then we were the Bobcats, so it was pretty depressing to go to high school during those years as a Bobcats fan. But when LeBron James came to the Heat, everyone was a Heat fan. Everyone was a Heat fan.
Yeah.
And not just that, I remember me and you went to Champs the day after he came to the Heat. No.
Oh,
the whole store was LeBron Heat.
Everywhere.
You had these number six jerseys everywhere. So it was
everywhere. When we say everywhere, I'm like, wow,
so
this guy sells.
The shirt. We say this to say that the attention he commands, the shirts he sells, the way he brings the value of the team up as far as from a financial standpoint, it warrants him getting paid what he's getting paid. And to bring it back to women's boxing, I don't feel like we should have to support women's boxing based because of it's women's boxing or women's sports in general, because it's women's sports. You get paid on the value you bring and the attention you command. And I feel like Alicia Baumgartner, look, like my main man Tyan Booth says, sex sells, don't it? Alicia Baumgartner is the type of woman that when you see her, I would venture to say that 99% of men would want to sleep with her. They look at her and she's attractive physically. I can say that. It's okay. Because she's attractive, people are going to be more open to wanting to watch her fight. So then, if she has skills and she can fight, then they're going to say, damn, well, she's just more than a pretty face. She can actually fight.
Well, you're saying that you could say that about Conejo.
Oh, another great example. Marcela Conejo.
She can't fight.
She's not, I mean, she's came a long way from where she came from. She's a solid fighter, but she ain't no top level middleweight women's fighter. You got me messed up.
Yeah.
The only reason we even the only reason we even know or care about Marcela Conejo is because a lot of men think she's fine.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't fine, we wouldn't be saying that about Marcela Conejo.
Nope.
So to answer your question, I think Alicia Baumgartner has the ingredients to be a star. I think she's fighting around a weight where there's actually good opponents for her.
And Adidas got her signed, so she's all right.
So she's doing all right for herself. So that's what it is. Jamal James versus Jaron Ennis. Somebody asked. Jaron Boots.
Against who?
Jaron Ennis, the Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Versus the guy that's fought on PBC, Jamal
Taking
James.
Williams.
Huh? Who?
Williams. You talk Rock Williams?
No, man,
don't-
you didn't mishear me. Look.
Oh, the one.
Jamal James, the one who fought
Yeah.
on PBC card, versus Jaron Ennis
I'll take Jaron in his boots.
from Philadelphia. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll take him.
It'd be a good fight, though. Good prospect versus prospect fight. Someone let me know, because I'm not really sure myself. Is Jaron Ennis an Al Heyman fighter? Because that'd be a good fight. They can make it. Oscar De La Hoya is crying right now because his prodigy, Diego De La Hoya, lost this weekend. Yeah.
What happened?
I haven't had a chance to watch
I
that.
see the fight, yeah.
Diego De La Hoya, who is probably one of my favorite fighters.
His
in that weight
nephew or
class.
something, or cousin or something?
Yeah. I don't know who he lost to, but he lost to someone. The thing got stopped, too.
Wow.
So, big loss there for the Golden Boy Promotions. But you know what? To hell with Golden Boy Promotions.
And what's up with what's it for Ryan?
Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, what's going on with him?
That chump?
Yeah, how you want to call it? Who's he fighting next?
Ain't gonna be
Rolly?
nobody.
Rolly?
Hell, he ain't gonna fight no damn Rolly.
He definitely ain't fighting no Tank.
Rolly's crazy. Rolly can't. When Rolly talk, have you heard Rolly talk?
No.
Listen, when Rolly talks, you know there's a couple screws loose in his head.
Yeah?
Yeah, and he can punch like a mule.
No. Yeah?
Yeah, on Instagram, he calls himself the sparring world champion. The undisputed champion of sparring.
Crazy. Yeah.
But he's a very big puncher, so well, it is what it is there. But we're probably gonna wrap it up right now. For those of you, look, get your Fighting Mad.
The Gypsy Kid's
That's the
coming.
Tyson Fury shirt. Fighting Mad. That's my sponsor. I'm rocking a Terrence Crawford shirt. So if y'all want some dope, stylish, snazzy boxing gear, make sure you go to Fighting Mad. I'm sure you guys will be seeing the ads a lot more in my videos as I'm running them. The website and promotional code is right there.
What else we were talking about, though?
And that was really it, really.
What was it?
Oh, no, it wasn't it.
Okay.
That wasn't it. We're not done, actually.
Yeah.
So Nikolai Potapov.
Okay. Oh, man.
Well, we were live for that fight.
Yeah.
Nikolai Potapov got absolutely robbed against Joshua Greer. Joshua Greer, look, I like Joshua Greer, but he got a straight gift. It was Christmas. It was Hanukkah. It was Mother Loving Ramadan. It was his birthday.
Yep.
He got a gift.
I agree 100% with you, BT. Like you say, when you bake a cake,
It's a damn cake.
I'm a big fan of Don't Sleep, Don't Blink, Greer, and I like him. I was going for the whole fight, but the reality of the fact, my 4 eyes and my son's 4 eyes.
That's 8 eyes right there.
We both agreed that he didn't win that fight. And again, just like what happened with Hogan, with I forgot what Munguia, and now this is the same thing. He truly, but they're protesting. I was reading. They're protesting.
Yeah, I say they're protesting it now.
Yeah.
Now we know nothing's gonna happen.
Nope.
Nothing will happen, but they're gonna protest.
Crazy.
Potapov, he won in that fight, so like I thought it was. Not only did I think he won, I thought he won it pretty like wide.
Yeah,
I thought he won by like 3-4 rounds.
He uses a height. He uses a leverage.
Jab, his experience.
Jab. He just kept jabbing. Well, by the time Greer was gonna figure it out, it was too late.
Too late. You had your chance and you blew it.
He had 2 years to. He called him out 2 years ago. He should have just waited a little longer. Because
Yeah, and then he's talking on the post-fight interview. Yeah, you know I'm not right because I just be Drago. I'll be the Russian.
you don't say shit. If you didn't compete, you didn't win that fight. But
And then I saw him posting on Instagram.
you said, but the thing I have my son, he always says something right before the decisions, and it always happens. Oh,
Thank God he didn't get a knockdown. It would have been even wider. But look, about that fight, like I follow him on Instagram and he posted about like that fight and a picture of him with the belt or one of the belts he won, the random McDonald's belts he won. And
yeah.
he was saying, yeah, you know, men lie or women lie, numbers don't. Check the stats. It's called a championship rounds for a reason. Like he was talking a whole bunch of mess.
You said that though.
And then I see like in the comments, it's like I said other fighters saying, yeah, bro. Like, of course he was like, yeah, bro. They just don't know, man. They just don't know. Of course Steve said, so like patting him on the back. I'm like, motherfucker, you lost. You had him looking at the 118 Sergey Kovalev. Okay, he was boxing your damn head off. What are you talking about?
I mean, then when the trainer told him, we're gonna turn it up. What round he said? We're gonna turn it up on the 5th round hour.
Yeah, we're gonna really turn it up. I'm like, what? I mean, we were live.
Yeah.
When? When is he turning it up?
Because
That'd be great.
like what you were saying, he couldn't adjust to Potapov because he kept his distance and he couldn't adjust his movement. He was a ring general, like you said.
Potapov was ring general. Fucking Potapov was controlling the range with his jab.
Yeah.
Potapov Not even just that, but Greer. What's funny is Greer is a very athletic fighter. He was fighting like a Mexican journeyman.
And then
No jab, leading with right hands, getting caught, like.
my son says, "Oh, I forgot the Aaron card. Don't be surprised, Nelson. It was
yeah.
Dad. Don't be surprised."
Yeah, I forgot this Aaron card. Okay.
5 minutes later,
Bang. Give.
No, you didn't.
So now I really think, and I'll say this. I have no problem saying this to him to his face. Like, I sincerely believe that they just ruined his career. They don't even know what they just did.
Oh, because it blows his head up?
Because now he thinks he actually beat Potapov. So now
At some point, you gotta
he might get a fight with Naoya the Monster Inoue.
Gonna get
And
destroyed.
God forbid he get that fight. Because if he gets that fight, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm trying. Let me look right at the
Well, they're
camera.
both top-ranked fighters now, right?
Yeah, after the war, after the war boxing, it'll be
Can't
a
believe
top
you
ranked
signed
fighter. So it'll be an in-house fight.
Yeah.
So like, I'm gonna go after the camera and say this: if Joshua Greer gets a fight with Naoya the Monster Inoue, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you one time. I'm gonna tell you really good. He is going to get beat up. He's gonna get his heart ripped out, handed to him on a silver platter, and he'll get folded up like one of those blue steel chairs on Monday night or Friday night SmackDown. Shout out to The Rock back in 2001.
Yeah.
He'll get folded up like that.
You know what the
Rock is cooking.
No, I'm just
But,
joking. Yeah, but I could not believe that. And this is the only part I hate about boxing, but I'm starting to just accept the fact that no matter how a fight looks the way we see it, it can never be the way we think it's going to
My
be.
man Steve Kim said it best, and I've always used this quote.
Yeah?
He said, when I first heard this, it kind of sounded like really cynical and depressing. But once I kind of got to accepting it, it's like I don't get mad about nothing no more.
Yeah.
He said, boxing is a business dressed up as a sport. I said, God dang, you're right.
Yeah.
And so that's why every time
Yeah.
there's a close fight, I said, well, who's the more politically connected fight? Okay, he's getting the decision. So that's why, like for example, that's why when you get those rare instances where the more politically connected fighter doesn't get the decision, like for example, I'll give you an example. There was a fight last year that I thought was great because of the fact that it was, first of all, it was a close fight, but then the guy who deserved to win got the decision. It didn't come down to politics, like,
Right.
and the guy who was on the road in the guy's hometown got the decision. And the fight I'm talking about is Maurice Hooker versus Terry Flanagan. Maurice Hooker went to the UK last year, and I thought that fight could have went either way, but I thought Hooker won the fight.
Oh, okay,
I thought Hooker won the fight. I thought it could have won either way. It was a close fight, and I said, well, he ain't getting no damn decision in England, and then he wound up getting it. I said, wow,
That's crazy.
he had actually got a decision. That shit would never happen here in America.
Nope.
That would never happen in America.
It's
So
all about the money and who the popular name is.
so
That's what it is, but yeah.
you know, that's why you have to really when it happens, you gotta really appreciate it when it does happen. It don't happen too often.
Yeah, that's true. But I get mad because when they have.
Now I'll tell you this though, if I become a boxing manager, it had to be a whole different story. I'm gonna be mad as fuck. I'm gonna come right here.
You're gonna have your own. Yeah, you're gonna have your own contract.
We ain't talking about nothing else for like 15 videos.
Now, that's another thing. I'm not saying it's always like that, but why do promoters get to choose or designate certain type of judges? That's BS.
Well, from my understanding, from what I've heard they don't.
I don't know if there's a rule.
I heard that promoters don't.
I recommend.
They don't designate the judges, but what I hear is a judge. And Rick Glades told me this. He said a judge, they'll assign the judges to a fight, and the promoter has the right to say, well, I don't like that judge because he has a bias towards this style of fighting.
Okay.
Now it may not work. You may still have that judge, so your fighters have to overcome.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Wow.
But it is what it is. Like
when you told me that crooked lady Beard and her husband's the referee, they're just robbing the fighters for their own money.
Adeline Bird,
Yeah, Bird and her husband.
Adeline and Robert.
I mean, how do you make that? Anyways.
Good old Adeline and Robert.
Yeah.
Daniel Vasquez says, I heard that Ryan Garcia is going to fight a top 10 contender next.
That's like me telling my father, oh, that black guy. I mean, you might be right, but we don't know. In the welterweight division, there's a lot of good.
140. Oh, no, 135.
Yeah.
135.
Oh, it's 135. He moved down.
No, that's 135. It's 135.
Oh, Ryan Garcia.
Yeah. Your boy.
Oh, I thought he was gonna fight up. What's that new pro? He's not fairly new, but he just won a big fight. Him and him would be a good fight.
Ooh.
Oh, I forgot his name.
Devin Haney?
No, not David. I'm talking about
Virgil Ortiz?
He just came up. I don't know his name right now. It starts with an L. He's Spanish. He just came up from the other side of California. They know each other.
Is that the L?
Yeah, I think right now. But anyways,
I'm blanking out.
we'll stay tuned for that. You know, he's a father now, so he's got a purpose to get in that ring and fight and do what's right. What's up with Tank Davis? I haven't heard nothing about him.
He's fighting soon.
Who's he fighting? Anybody good?
No, he's fighting. In fact, he's fighting not this weekend, but the
Next
following
up.
weekend.
Yeah.
He's fighting in Baltimore. It's a homecoming fight. The first world title
Okay.
fight in Baltimore in 80 years.
Who is it though?
He's fighting Ricardo Nunez.
That sounds like. Is he good?
No. Well, he's good, but like he's not someone that's gonna give
Dude.
Tank any problems.
Why couldn't it be him and Lomo?
Cause, yeah, they asked Leonard Ellaby about like him fighting those guys, and he says, "Listen, he will be the biggest star in the sport of boxing." This is Leonard Ellaby. Let me stretch my nostrils out.
Yeah.
He will be the biggest star in the sport of boxing.
What they call him? Punk up, nigga.
Oh yeah.
You just not my
He's a
punk.
bitch
You don't like me, bitch, nigga. You don't like me. You don't like nobody.
You don't like me.
Shut your punk ass
Yeah,
down.
man, stop that soft shit up.
Yeah. Playing with me. You against me.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's look. He's 24 years old. I mean, a lot of boxing greats fought good fighters when by the time they're 24. They're babying him. They're training wheels are firmly on him, and they have no intention of him. You know, so
How old is he right now?
24. He's 24.
So, a fighter's prime, he goes down to his prime, he loses his prime when he's like going to his late 30s?
I mean, every fighter's different.
Yeah.
Heavyweights tend to have, they can fight later on. For lighter fighters, you know, they tend to.
What I like about Tank, they really don't let him talk.
He can barely talk. Have you seen him talk?
No, I'm just
read
saying
some
in general.
books. Straight up, he didn't go read some books.
I'm just saying
Sound his words out.
In general, like, they still don't let him speak on nothing. They have to speak for him.
Look, with
But Tank,
like with him, I don't understand. Like, and you know what? I know a lot of times you guys say, "Well, Brennan, you're just hating on this guy and you're saying he's witness protection," but really, Tank Davis is witness protection because I'm gonna tell you why. He is out of weight. He is around a weight where like right now he's fighting 130, right? But it's a well-known fact. This motherfucker lost his title on the scales. He lost his title on the scale. He can barely make 130.
right.
So why won't he go to 135? Oh yeah, I'll tell you why. Because that's all the killers hang out. Teofimo's at 135.
Yeah.
Devin Hayes at 135. Lomachenko's at 135. Virgil Ortiz is at 135. You know, all the killers are at 135.
Kill him.
So you don't want to fight those guys because if you were at 135, people will be clamoring even more for you to fight
Well, that's
these
with
killers.
cash cow, right?
He's the only fighter he really has. Because I mean, Tabiti just got sparked by Torticos.
man.
I mean, Torticos damn near killed the guy.
Yeah.
And then Badu Jack is on his way out, and who else is really after besides Tank, aside from Badu Jack and Tabiti, who does he really have?
Nobody.
Kevin Newman, the guy that wants to manage it. He just beat up Kevin Newman in sparring, and he beat up Jalen Love. I'm not gonna say his name,
Yeah.
but he beat those guys up in sparring.
How about whatever after that heavyweight from Texas that you interviewed from there
He just turned pro.
he just turned pro.
Yeah,
Oh, so
he's got his first win.
I'm not gonna ask. Is anything?
I don't know who he fought, but
Some Jack
but
in the Box.
I heard he got his first one. King Petford.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, King. I mean, he was like, this kid is King Petford. This is King Petford. I was signed Mayweather. I was signed to Mayweather Promotions as the first heavyweight. Yeah. I came to meet you, a humble guy. I'm Texas. Yeah. King Petford.
You gotta get the first fight and they're hyped up. Yeah, I think Tank is being protected, but sooner or later somebody's gonna be around. Who else is at 130 that could give a challenge?
Miguel Perchel.
That's when he's been there for a long time. Why this promotion?
They don't want no smoke. They don't even know who that is. If you ask Leonard Ellaby who that is.
But why don't they try to why didn't Michelle's promotion they'll try to get him to
Top rank?
Oh, okay, I got you. Leading along, whatever. It's always some bullshit.
Top rank, so
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Anyways, guys, it's 2 o'clock over here.
It's 2 a.m., so we've had a fun time talking
Thank
to
you for you guys. We enjoy your company. We always do.
We'll try to go live a couple more days.
Thank you for your support again, and have a wonderful night. Be safe.
R.I.P. Sweet Pea.
Rest in peace, Sweet Pea, and condolences to his family. And guys, thank you again for supporting us. I love talking to you guys.
There you go. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you could love me or you could hate me. I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.